In this video, we will discuss Jupiter in all 12 houses of your chart and your spouse and purpose of your life. So my beautiful ladies and my brothers, welcome back again to your favorite astrology channel, the one and only Jupiman Astrology.
Now guys, I would like to tell you before we move forward, you can directly take consultation from us. We have created a website now. It's so simple. You can go there, link in description and the comment section below. You can just click there and just click of a button, you can just simply purchase directly consultation from us as the instruction are given on the website, and then we will just help you out in the consultation. Okay guys, so for that, links are in comment section and description. You can purchase consultation also.
Now let's talk about Jupiter in first house. So first of all, what does first house represent? First house is our self, our personality, our body. Okay, first house is like the overall, it's overall our life, right? First house is the most important thing because it's the everything. It's the foundation. You cannot judge a horoscope without first house, right? Now, what will happen when Jupiter come into the first house? And what does Jupiter represent? Jupiter represent our wisdom. Jupiter represent spirituality, wealth, expansion, dharma, knowledge. Jupiter is the Putra Karka, which means Karka of your children. Jupiter is your generosity. Jupiter is also divine grace. It's a luck, right? It is the most benefic planets, right? It is your optimism, higher knowledge, philosophy. Okay, this is all Jupiter, right? Now, when such planet is sitting into the first house, okay, so what will going to happen? So Jupiter in the first house bring divine protection, first of all, called Dev Guru's blessing. Why is that? Because when Jupiter sit in the first house, so you will see that Jupiter 7th aspect fall on your 7th house, Jupiter 5th aspect fall on your 5th house, and Jupiter 9th aspect fall on your 9th house. So the house of child, marriage and luck all get covered with this Jupiter aspect. Okay, although there are certain things which people don't know that Jupiter in the first house can create certain issues, but majority wise Jupiter in the first house is considered to be very benefic. It is so benefic that you can see whenever Jupiter transit for 1 year in someone's lagna, it is considered to be the most auspicious year of a person's life. So like for an example, currently if you are a Gemini ascendant, Jupiter is transiting in 2025 into your lagna. So it is a very good year generally for you. You will see certain new directions in your life. By the way, I've created already Jupiter transit video on my channel. You can watch that. Okay. Also other transits. Now see, Jupiter from the first house is considered to be very good because it's give you blessings of 5th house, 7th house and 9th house. So all three important houses are covered. Business, marriage, children, love, money, right? Your luck, father, bhagya, destiny, fortune, long distance traveling. So Jupiter is definitely covering, giving aspects to all these three houses. Definitely trying to give you positive things. Generally, it is also considered when Jupiter is placed in the first house, so many of negative yogas of your chart get nullified. Okay, because Jupiter blessing is there. Now, what will going to happen with Jupiter in the first house? If you have Jupiter in the first house, you are born to live by dharma. You are born to live by values. You are born to live by ethics. You are born to live by truth. Okay. This can be seen. When Jupiter is in your first house, the purpose of your life is to speak, to guide other, to teach other, to, I would say, become a mentor of other people, to lead people by your wisdom. Naturally, you will see when a person have Jupiter in the first house, they become kind of a guide. Like, see, I have seen with people Jupiter in the first house, even if it's a kid, like, of course, Dashantar Dasha plays its role, but still, they speak in such a good way that people will get surprised how this person, he's like a small kid or she's a small kid, have such a great wisdom. The way try to explain things, it's very nice. So Jupiter in the first house, in that way, you naturally have that guiding energy because Jupiter blessing is there. Jupiter in the first house give you natural charisma and spiritual aura, positive vibration as well. Okay. Jupiter in the first house make you a person which is naturally Jupiter in the first house will give you Jupiter in the first house make you a person with natural magnet for blessing of guru, of good luck. Okay, so naturally you attract good luck with if Jupiter is placed into the first house. So for like in terms of good luck, it is considered to be a very good placement. Okay, because you will see a benefic is sitting in the lagna. You should understand whenever benefic aspect or sit in the lagna, things become easy in life. Okay, although other things play its role, but still, right? Full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Links are in comment section description, but still you will see things comparatively become easy for these people. But whenever malefics is going to aspect or sit in the lagna, they have to struggle. Okay, yes, malefics can give them money with different ways, but they have to struggle. They have to face certain harshness in their life because malefics will do that. Benefics is softness. They will make life soft. Malefics is harshness. They will make life at least harsh in the early life. Yes, like both have different way of teaching, right? So with Jupiter in the first house, naturally it give you positive vibration, good charisma, spiritual aura. Make you a person who is naturally a magnet for blessings. Okay, with this, your physical appearance is usually very graceful. Okay, generally they are like medium to tall, right? Or I would say they are like robust kind of a people with natural glow. Okay, there is definitely with Jupiter in the first house, there can be an inner desire to glow constantly, spiritually, intellectually, and morally as well. Jupiter in the first house generally give high moral compass to a person. These people often act as protectors or advisors. Okay? Jupiter in the first house definitely show a major part of your journey is learning humility. Okay? Despite greatness. Also, you will see with Jupiter in the first house, your path is to expand your wisdom, to share it, okay, and evolve through ethical living. So, you will see these things. With Jupiter in the first house, generally, these people blessed with a good nature partner, a very wise and a supportive spouse they have generally. But you can also see, although I do not want to scare you, but in certain cases, Jupiter in the first house can even give you separation with your first partner. In certain cases, because I have seen this happen, although Jupiter tried to save it from the divorce, etc., in the first house, because it's definitely aspect the seventh house. But because Jupiter in the first house, I have seen sometimes, especially for females, it makes certain females so much idealistic about their partner because they naturally are very pure people with Jupiter in the first house. So they expect their partner can be so pure, which in today's world is really hard to find. So that is why they prefer to sometime, and because the Jupiter in the first house, they also have like this wisdom, this knowledge, and they kind of a feel that okay, I can live away, right? So and then second marriage also happens. So I have also seen like with certain cases, although it's a very surprising thing, because people say Jupiter in the first house definitely save, yes, it save your divorce, etc. combinations, but still, because I have seen, especially for females, Jupiter in the first house, sometime for some female, if other combinations are also present, it can make them so idealistic about their partner, or certain situation it can create that they can definitely feel detached from their partner because of some time if the partner is lacking some moral stuff, right? So they themselves likes to live away from the partner in certain cases. So yeah, this is also a surprising thing I have seen with Jupiter in the first house. I want you to write your comments, your experience, right? So it would be really helpful for like the people. I want you to comment whatever you feel and how much you relate, or what are the things that you experience with Jupiter in the first house. Please write down in the comment. For a female, when Jupiter in the first house, generally spouse can be reputed, can be spiritual, or can also be from a wealthy background or well-off background. Of course, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Links are in comment section and description, but still you will see that. If you are a male, your wife can be traditional, graceful, or even like a teacher or counselor by nature. Okay, that can also be seen. Your spouse likely to contribute to your personal growth, education, and even spiritual expansion. Okay. Venus in the first house also show, Jupiter in the first house also show marriage improve destiny. Okay, so their destiny get activated with marriage. Often you will see the person who have Venus in the first house, once they get married, life become kind of a more stable. Sometimes, in rare cases, delay in marriage can be seen, although until maturity is there. Although it's rare, I think so, because when Jupiter aspect on the seventh house, even if the Saturn is sitting in the seventh house, it nullify the delay of marriage. I have seen this again and again. Whenever, even if the Saturn is sitting in the seventh house, Jupiter is aspecting that, no delay is not there in the marriage. I have seen that in many charts. Okay, if let's say there are thousands of combination who are destroying, who are going against marriage, then maybe delay can be there. But I have seen this again and again, that whenever Jupiter aspect on the seventh house, even if the Saturn, which is the major significator of delay, is sitting into the seventh house, even then marriage won't be much delayed. Okay, so yeah. Now, when Jupiter in the seventh house, Jupiter in the first house, your partner may act as a spiritual mirror or guide in your life. Okay, your partner will push you towards your higher self. With Jupiter in the first house, you seek wisdom based things and also moral upright partner. Okay, so with Jupiter in the first house, you seek wisdom based and moral upright partners in your life, not just a shallow connection. With Jupiter in the first house, spouse can belong to a different caste, different culture or country, although it is really an exception. Why I said that? Because see, there are two things. First of all, when planet like Jupiter in the first house, it's rare for such people to marry into other caste, etc. But since Jupiter is the lord of ninth house as well as the 12th house in the Kalpurusha Kundli and setting in your lagna. Okay, so in certain cases, if it's making certain connection with certain planets and it's getting connection with Rahu, etc., and 7th, 9th and other combination are also working, then it can also indicate that as well. Okay, so yeah, I just would like to clarify this. Now, Jupiter from the first house aspect your 5th house, 7th house and 9th houses respectively. So this definitely enhances your romantic life, love life, married life and also your dharmic path. Okay, Jupiter in the first house ensure dignity, loyalty and spiritual base in married life unless afflicted. Okay, then Jupiter in the first house make you a teacher, advisor, philosopher, preacher, a consultant of some kind. Okay, a guru. Jupiter in the first house, I would say the career which are good for you are education, law, religion, finance, astrology, something related to foreign affair. Okay, an advisor of foreign affairs. So this can also be combination if let's say certain yogas are present. These people, let's say, work as a foreign ambassador or something, and then later they become advisor of foreign affairs, or maybe advisor to the government regarding something. So that can also be seen. Jupiter in the first house bless you with luck, with reputation and grace in public. Generally, you will see this. Jupiter in the first house also indicate that your purpose of life is to become a beacon of knowledge, justice and truth. Jupiter in the first house make you a person who attract wealth through wisdom or through blessing of elders and gurus. If Jupiter in the first house is debilitated or I would say combust, then it can make you a bit lazy person. Then it can give you ego. Then it can give you over confidence issues. Okay, so if your Jupiter is combust or your Jupiter is debilitated in the lagna, which means if you have Capricorn ascendant with Jupiter in the first house, so sometime I have seen that these people can have ego issues, laziness issues or overconfidence they feel. So you need to overcome these things, okay, with Jupiter in the first house. And especially if Jupiter is in the sign of Capricorn in the first house, then blessings are still be there, but sometimes they can do unethical practices because Jupiter is debilitated here. So they would like to sell duplicate products or something. I have seen with Jupiter getting duplicated. So you have to avoid all that. Okay, because ultimately you will ruin this Jupiter otherwise. So then luck support will not be there much. So you have to be careful. And if your Jupiter is debilitated or combust, then of course you have to overcome ego issues, overcome laziness, overcome overconfidence. Jupiter in the first house also show that you will have an inner purpose to guide the collective through personal transformation. Okay, Jupiter in the first house make you a person who often become teacher, mentor, or father figures to other family. For an example, in India, you see there are certain places in village, etc., where there is some kind of a person who have such a wisdom, who go to other people's family disputes to solve them by just guiding them. So instead of going to a lawyer, they just listen to certain person who is considered to be very intelligent or having wisdom. Okay, so there are certain people. I don't know if you have seen that. I have seen that in India, in certain villages, etc. You see there are certain kind of a people who when say certain things to the people of their village, they listen to that person and they respect his decision. So even if people are doing fight with each other, when he says okay, you should not do that, he will try to do negotiation, then people understand. Okay, so instead of going to a court, etc., people compromise or at least respect that person. So that is also the kind of a person who could have Jupiter in the first house. Okay, so you will see that. Then you will also see with Jupiter in the first house, it can make you broad minded, warm hearted, giving, and non judgmental personality. Jupiter in the first house give you a very strong immunity and positive mindset. Okay, then Jupiter in the first house also show that you may struggle with weight gain. Yes, Jupiter is a heavy planet, it's a big planet. So in the first house, when it's going to be there, you definitely can gain weight, belly fat. So you need to do constant exercise, avoid laziness, avoid becoming too much comfortable. Try to do exercise every day, try to maintain. Understand, you are born with Jupiter in the first house. Weight gain can become issue in certain cases, so try to do exercises, try to reduce belly fat. Okay, I mean, I'm trying to tell you to all these things to be, although Jupiter represents fat, in a way it's there to show you that I am here, but still you should make your body fit, right? Don't be lazy. Even this Jupiter influence in the first house so much that you see when Jupiter transit into the first house, for that 1 year you naturally gain more weight. Okay, so yeah, you will also see that this is the power. So naturally Jupiter in the first house, when sitting in your chart, you are become like, naturally you can become a little bit heavy or weight gain or something like that. Jupiter in the first house, I have seen naturally these people have sense of right or wrong, what is right, what is wrong. They can naturally sense that. Okay, also you will see Jupiter in the first house, I would say these people must avoid preaching or becoming proud of their knowledge. Okay, do not get an ego that, oh, I have so much knowledge and all that with Jupiter in the first house. Okay, definitely you will have natural teacher aura with Jupiter in the first house. Even you will see when a person have a Jupiter in the first house, strangers approach this person for advice. They will come to you for advice. You will see that because you have that blessings of Guru. You are good at giving advice and consultation to the people. People may come for you to consult, to learn, to evolve. Okay, and you are there with Jupiter in the first house. You have this ability to give consultation to the people, to share your knowledge with people. Okay, you will see that Jupiter in the first house, I have seen, these people have a tendency to help people without expecting anything, even at their personal cost. Okay, even at their personal cost, they will going to help people. Okay, because they help people too much sometime, which going to cost themselves, but they still feel, because Jupiter is that kind of a planet when set in the lagna, make your personality very helping. Okay, So you should learn to set boundaries, because sometimes you help people too much. You are not doing your own work, just keep helping, right? So you need to set some boundaries. Jupiter in the first house. In the later years, you can even become very respected person, or counselor, or advisor, or spiritual leader also. Okay? But if Jupiter in the first house is afflicted, you can become very egoistic, very dominating, okay, or very fake preacher type of person, and that could lead to problems even in married life if you become too much dominating. Okay. Uh, if you have Jupiter in the first house, definitely praying to Lord Vishnu or Brihaspati Dev on Thursday, especially, it's a great idea. If you are female, you can keep even the fast of Jupiter on Thursday. Okay, there is a certain process of that. On Thursday, uh, distributing some yellow color burfi or yellow color sweets to the small girls, okay, can be a good idea. Okay, this is a good remedy. Also, if you have Jupiter in the first house, make sure you have only useful and clean books at the home. If you have Jupiter in the first house and you have collection of some books which are like which are like old, and they are like, they are like getting old and they are very bad shape, you know what I mean. Okay. And literally you have this room full of books, that kind of a thing with Jupiter in the first house can destroy Jupiter. If you likes to have collection of a book with Jupiter in the first house, which you can have, so you can create a beautiful library type of setup where you have, in a very clean way, you keep book. That is a good idea. Okay. If you have Jupiter in the first house, you can keep a small yellow cloth in the wallet. Okay, in your wallet, you keep a small yellow color cloth, especially the pale yellow type of cloth. Okay, even in your temple, you can, not temple actually, if you have a small puja area, which means the worship area in your home, right? So where you have all the, like the painting etc of Lord Vishnu and other gods and goddess, there you can keep yellow color clothes, so that is also good. And if you don't have that, then simply put it in your wallet, a yellow color clothes on Thursday. That's really a good idea. Okay. uh then with Jupiter in the first house, always respect gurus, teachers, father figures, okay, and cows. Avoid eating beef. And I would say, even to this extent, that if you have Jupiter in the first house, avoid eating non-veg, okay, because Jupiter is against that. So yeah. uh Also, I would say Jupiter in the first house, one good remedy is, again, if you can ever somehow contribute something to religious stuff like building of temple etc, or doing some kind of a seva, some kind of a service at the temple or maybe gurudwara etc, because these two places are represented by Jupiter, so definitely you should do that. Okay. So yeah. Then Jupiter in the first house also shows strong past life karma you will have related to teaching, temple, or sacred knowledge. Okay. Jupiter in the first house, you may have been a wise teacher, a monk, or a past in or a priest in the past life. Okay. Jupiter in the first house, it also show that you are born in this life to correct ego, misuse of wisdom, or regain spiritual balance. Jupiter in the first house show you will have deep bond with your father or a guru like person. Destiny often shaped by your mentor with Jupiter in the first house. Jupiter in the first house show that family respect you from a very young age. They can see that this guy have old soul in his body or in her body. Okay, in this girl. Definitely with Jupiter in the first house, your purpose of the life is to uplift other by living in a dharmic way and sharing your divine grace, your divine light. Okay. So yeah, this is about Jupiter in the first house. If you want personal consultation or purchase courses, links are in comment section and description. Now let's talk about Jupiter in the second house. So first of all, second house represent what? Second house is the house of our family, finance, money, wealth, saving, assets, speech, voice, face, and especially second house represent what you value in your life. Okay, that's really important. And then what is Jupiter? Jupiter represents wisdom, spirituality, wealth, expansion, dharma, knowledge, children, guru, generosity, your divine grace, blessing, optimism, higher learning, philosophy, and justice. When a planet which represents so much good things, which is the most benefic planet, is going to sit in your second house, so what's going to happen? See, first of all, I would like to tell you a very good news if you have Jupiter in the second house. In my experience, I have seen in many cases, whenever a person have Jupiter in the second house, even if it's debilitated, even if it's combust, I have seen, I don't care in which sign or whichever thing it is, like whenever I have seen Jupiter in the second house, somehow or other, the person have the blessing of money and wealth. I have seen this again and again. It's rare that a person have Jupiter in the second house and he or she doesn't have money at certain point in their life. Okay, Jupiter in the second house can give you money. Okay, in fact, I have seen many rich people with Jupiter in the second house, right? Who have money. This is my personal observation, and I want you to write your like whatever you feel about your life. But I have seen this again and again. In fact, in certain cases, I have seen more than Venus. Jupiter in the second house are giving more wealth to the people. Personally, I have seen, like, of course, Venus in the second house is very good for money, but still, I'm telling you what I have seen. Now, Jupiter in the second house bring naturally blessings of wealth, values, and family karma to the native. If you have Jupiter in the second house, you are born with a soul mission to preserve, to teach, to pass on traditional knowledge. Jupiter in the second house show you will have strong connection to lineage, culture, sanskar, and spiritual inheritance. Jupiter in the second house show that this person, which means you who have Jupiter in the second house, can become a bit soft spoken, wise, articulate, or blessed with a sweet speech. Actually, I will not call it a sweet speech. Sweet speech is when Venus is in the second house. But when Jupiter is in the second house, the speech is in such a way, the person speak in a way that you likes to listen to that person and you feel, wow, I'm getting a divine grace, right? Because I have seen Jupiter in the second house. The person, they speak like a guru, like a sometimes it feel like someone speaking and giving us blessing by their voice. That's the kind of it's hard to explain actually, to be honest with you, but you know what I mean. Jupiter in the second house is like divine grace kind of a speech, right? So that's what you will see. So naturally people like it. Of course, if it's afflicted and heavily by other planet, then it's become a shake, right? So that's a different point. So right now we are talking about alone Jupiter. So you will see. But still, like Jupiter in the second house, still even if it's in conjunct etc., give you some result of these as well. So Jupiter in the second house, your voice has a power to heal other, okay, to inspire other people, to guide people, okay. And especially if this Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus in the second house or in the sign of Cancer, yes, you could have a very good. And regardless of in which sign this is, Jupiter in the second house, naturally you will have ability to heal, to inspire, to guide people with your voice. Okay? You will see Jupiter in the second house, many times I have seen people become rich and they are giving now interview etc. and people love to listen to them. Okay, Jupiter in the second house, people are giving interviews or speeches, people are listening to them. Okay, even if they are not much rich. Although Jupiter in the second house somehow give the money. Jupiter in the second house is, this is the house of Sanchit Dhan, which means accumulated wealth, your assets. Jupiter definitely is going to expand this. That's why I said it. Jupiter in the second house somehow give money. If it is well placed in the second house, it can indicate inheritance of values, money, spiritual treasure. Okay? Jupiter in the second house, it show you have a purpose to build, to sustain wealth with ethics and grace. Jupiter in the second house show the strong, uh, generally somehow family, uh, early childhood in your family can be spiritual or can be noble or learned. Okay, Jupiter in the second house also show that your life become more fruitful after marriage. Okay, especially if Jupiter rule the seventh or the ninth or the 11th house in your chart. Jupiter in the second house also indicate that your spouse can be from a wealthy or a cultured or spiritually strong family. Jupiter in the second house also indicate that marriage can bring stability in finances. Okay, in finances it can bring stability, in food habits, even in karma related to speaking. For a man, if you have Jupiter in the second house, your wife may be well spoken, religious, family oriented, and resourceful. If you are a female with Jupiter in the second house, your husband can be philosophical, generous, or even connected to finance or law. But Jupiter in the second house, see, although full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture of how the nature of wife, husband, and all that stuff for married life, for that consultations links are in comment section as well as description. Okay. Now see, Jupiter in the second house, married life is enhanced when both partners share traditional or spiritual values. Jupiter in the second house show your spouse may be connected with status, speech, or family image. Jupiter, when set in the second house, it aspect your sixth house, your eighth house, and your 10th house. Okay. So, because Jupiter, when set in the second house, from the fifth aspect is aspect the sixth house, seventh aspect it's going to aspect the eighth house, and by ninth aspect the 10th house. So, what does it mean? It means spouse helps to resolve your debt issues. There will be transformation in your life with the spouse. Okay, and professional success can also be seen. Family will play a huge role in your marriage related decision. I have seen generally with Jupiter in the second house. Most likely a traditional setup can be there with Jupiter in the second house. Now, if afflicted, if this Jupiter in the second house is highly afflicted, then marriage may suffer due to ego, money, pride, food, speech related clashes. Okay. Jupiter in the second house, spouse may help the native to discover life purpose through family responsibilities. Jupiter in the second house also show that your karmic lessons will be, you will grow through what you preserve. Okay. Jupiter in the second house also show that it is one of the best placement for the money actually. Okay, especially these people can even build money through teaching, counseling, family businesses. I have seen that again and again. And the family business can be off into different industry as well. Not only into teaching and counseling. But yeah, into family business, I have seen this. Jupiter in the second house. Many people with family business make a lot of money. Their family business can be into clothes, into maybe into perfumes, maybe into online business, maybe into like iron or whatnots, right? They somehow with family business they can make money. Jupiter in the second house can also indicate that you will have money, family money. Okay, somehow your family have money, or maybe you could have ancestral property or stable financial background, at least some kind you will have with Jupiter in the second house. I also want you to comment down how's your life with Jupiter in the second house and how much you feel connected. Okay, that will be really nice in the comments if you write. I highly welcome that. Okay, I will also try to reply. Jupiter in the second house. Okay, Jupiter expand your ability to accumulate saving, to accumulate gold, to accumulate valuable knowledge. Okay, Jupiter in the second house is excellent for the people who are into career of banking, finance, education, law, food industry, public speaking, or even astrology. Okay, Jupiter in the second house, your life purpose is to create abundance. Okay, not just for yourself but also for others too. Jupiter in the second house also show that you should always invest in knowledge, ethics and spiritual wealth, not just material. Okay, now if Jupiter in the second house is afflicted, then you may struggle with overeating issues, laziness, or I would say over dependence on family resources. That can also be seen. Jupiter in the second house, I have seen speech become the source of income or maybe the downfall. Okay, because karma for them lies in the tongue with Jupiter in the second house. Jupiter in the second house also indicate you must learn to use your speech wisely, avoid gossips about someone, avoid criticism of someone, avoid harsh tone. Generally, these people don't do these things, but if Jupiter is afflicted or somehow, you do that with Jupiter in the second house, you should avoid it. Then I've also seen the people who have Jupiter in the second house. These people can deeply value culture, family, tradition, food rituals, okay, spiritual discipline. Jupiter in the second house, I've also seen their family have religious heads of some kind, or maybe a teacher, or maybe their elders, people can be very respected in the society. Okay, so you will also see that. Then also you will see, there are certain people with Jupiter in the second house, like our grandfather was this person, and everyone knows them. Oh, like so many people in their area, maybe, or in the country, or in the state, or in the world, know their ancestors or something. So that can also be Jupiter in the second house. Jupiter in the second house show that you will have strong emphasis on moral upbringing and cultural responsibility. Jupiter in the second house, your health karma is connected to throat, speech related organs, food and digestion. Jupiter in the second house, your aura attract respect. Okay, you will see that. Jupiter in the second house, your emotional security is rooted in financial stability and moral clarity. Jupiter in the second house can even show that you may have a sweet voice, okay, and a very good oratory skills and ability to attract people through your knowledge, wisdom, the way you communicate things. Jupiter in the second house can show that you can struggle in family expectations versus personal desire clashes can be there. Jupiter in the second house show that you must learn detachment from materialism without losing gratitude for abundance. Okay. Also, with Jupiter in the second house, if let's say it's afflicted highly, then speech can become very rude. Okay, wealth will be highly unstable in that case, right? Then also Jupiter in the second house, what could be the remedies? Avoid arguing during meals. Whenever you are eating food, never avoid talking, I would rather say. Because if you talk during food and you do arguments or fights or like that, it is horrible. It's going to destroy your Jupiter and it's going to affect your money after all. Also, do not lie while eating, because second house is speech and Jupiter is sitting there. Second house is food as well. So if you are going to lie while connecting with the signification of second house where Jupiter is placed, and lying is against the Jupiter ethics, it is a karmic poison for your life. So whenever you are eating food, just don't talk to anyone, simply eat your food. That's the best remedy here, because if you just lie or if you just talk to someone and argue while having food, it's a horrible situation for you. So I would say rather the good remedy is do not talk while having food. Then maybe on Thursday you can like then one more remedy is of course praying to Lord Vishnu or Brihaspati Dev, which is kind of a same thing. On Thursday simply you can pray to them, you can fast on Thursday if you can, and do spiritual prayers, etc. Must visit the temple on Thursday. Okay, so yeah, which is also good thing. One more remedy is that keep your dining area where you eat food must be very clean. Avoid clutter near kitchen or near temple, make them very clean. Okay. Anyhow, help temple gurudwaras. Okay, take the blessings of Hindu priest which is wearing saffron or yellow clothes, especially. Okay, or some sadhu Okay, you go to India in the north, you find some saint in the mountain somewhere, or in Rishikesh or Haridwar. Touch their feet, take the blessing, give them some money as a dakshina. Yeah, it's work as miracle for you, right? Never disrespect food, never disrespect elders, never disrespect any priest, etc., any pandit. Okay. Then Jupiter in the second house. Your past life karma involve misuse of speech or like something related to wealth. So you are born here to correct it. Okay. Jupiter in the second house also show that you will guide other people through your speech. With Jupiter in the second house, you must learn to balance between giving and saving. Okay, between expression and silence. Jupiter in the second house also show that your sole purpose is to preserve sacred value, share abundance. Okay, that can also be seen. When Jupiter in the second house well placed, you are definitely going to live a very prosperous life. Okay, and you will have respect in your society. Right? So yeah, and of course, Jupiter in the second house. Avoid non-veg if you can. Okay, because that's what Jupiter demand. If you can, of course, it's a great idea. So yeah, this is all about Jupiter in the second house. If you want consultation or purchase courses, links are in comment section and description. Now let's talk about Jupiter in third house. Right? So what will going to happen when Jupiter is placed into the third house of your chart? Right? So Jupiter when placed in the third house. So first of all, third house represent what? Third house is the house of sales, media, marketing, okay, communication, your younger sibling, right? Your neighbors. All these things are represented by third house, and it is the house of your courage as well, and thousand other things. And what does Jupiter represent? Jupiter represents wisdom, spirituality, wealth, expansion, dharma, knowledge, your children, because Jupiter is also a putra karka naturally. So it also represents your generosity, divine grace, luck in your life, optimism, higher learning, blessing of God, justice, philosophy, etc. All these are represented by Jupiter. When such a benefic planet, the most benefic planet of the solar system, is going to place in your third house, so what's going to happen? With this placement, Jupiter in the third house, you will see that you will bless, the Jupiter will bless you with divine communication. Jupiter will bless you with courage, okay, and purpose through action. Jupiter when placed in the third house, it will make you a person who are born with guidance, with teaching, and uplift other type of qualities. Okay, maybe through writing, maybe through speaking, maybe through communication, maybe through your efforts, social efforts. Somehow you are naturally born to guide, teach, and uplift other in their life, right? With Jupiter in the third house, okay, it is the house of effort, parakrama. Okay, so Jupiter here, definitely, I will not say that it will give you effort, but they actually give you an ability by which you can encourage others to take actions. Okay, Jupiter here make you influential among your sibling, neighbor, social group. Okay, with Jupiter in the third house, your speech and thoughts are generally very wise, philosophical, and uplifting for others. Jupiter in the third house show that you are naturally a messenger of knowledge. Okay, you could be into writing, blogging, speaking, teaching. You can be into all these things. There are possibility of that with Jupiter in the third house. Like Jupiter in the third house can literally, these people can become a teacher, right? You will see that they can become a blogger, like writing and all that stuff. Okay, and I've seen speaking skills are generally good with these Jupiter in the third house generally. Jupiter in the third house also show that your purpose of life is to share your experiences to awaken other people, right? Then Jupiter in the third house also show that you will have a strong karma related to media, related to education, related to religion, right? Or I would say religious things, moral communication, right? Jupiter in the third house also show that your hands or voice are tool of dharma, This includes writing, art, speech, all that. Jupiter in the third house also show that you must embrace courage over comfort to fulfill your promise. Then I have seen Jupiter in the third house regarding marriage definitely brings spiritual companion generally. Okay, so your spouse can be well read, supportive, or maybe from intellectual background type of partner you will attract with this. You can meet your spouse through communication, travel, learning platform like online classes, etc. That can also be seen. Okay, with Jupiter in the third house. Then Jupiter in the third house, if it's afflicted, then spouse may feel that you are too involved with your sibling, you are too involved with your media, you are too much involved with your ambition. Like spouse will literally, with this Jupiter is afflicted, can complain, your spouse can complain to you, hey, you are just spend most of your time on your phone, why don't you spend time with me? Or hey, you are just spending your time with your siblings, right? Why are you just ignoring me? So that kind of a complaint can be seen. Okay. Now, although of course full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, links are in comment section and description if you want to purchase that. But yeah, still you will see these things. Jupiter in the third house show that your partner may have a strong Mercury or Jupiter connection. They will be wise, humorous, youthful. Okay, you can see that. Now, Jupiter in the third house also show that your spouse can be helpful in writing, publishing, business, or public visibility of some kind. Jupiter from the third house, Jupiter fifth aspect fall on your seventh house. So definitely it brings blessings with the marriage and partnership when it is well placed here. If you are a female, then Jupiter in the third house show that your husband can be an influential speaker or teacher or a leader of some kind. Also, Jupiter in the third house can also show for a female that husband can work in bank or finance sector. Okay, that can also be seen. Or some kind of a finance related work. Jupiter, or if you are a man, then your spouse, your wife can have charming voice, intellectually very nice, and yeah, this can be seen. Now, if Jupiter is afflicted again, ego in communication can be seen, right? Ego issues in relationship can be seen. Some of you, like whether your spouse or you, can become stubborn sometime in your opinion, due to which there could be problems. So you have to pay attention to that. If you have Jupiter in the third house, so ideal marriage partner for you is one who support your mental growth and vision. Okay, that is the kind of a spouse that is ideal for you. Jupiter in the third house also show that you have a powerful verbal and written expression. Okay, you are naturally a good communicator with Jupiter in the third house, right? Because it's here in the third house of communication, right? And Jupiter is Gyan, knowledge. So naturally these people are good in spreading knowledge. Jupiter in the third house also show that your life improve drastically when you start to share your voice or messages, right? You will see that. So maybe professions like teacher, motivational speaker, writing, podcast, starting a podcast channel, astrology, okay, marketing, journalism, these profession can be good for you. Okay. Then Jupiter in the third house show that blessings through short travels, right? Some kind of a traveling can give you blessing. Networking, okay, or maybe online digital presence can again give you blessings from somehow through any kind of a thing like broadcast, sharing your knowledge, such thing can give you blessings, right? Then you will see that, in terms of blessing, like career wise, it's going to be good. Now also, Jupiter in the third house can also show that you may have elder sibling. If you have, they could have like spiritual or scholarly inclination. Okay, you will also see this. You will see with Jupiter in the third house, communication is your biggest tool of karmic connection and dharmic growth. You will also see that. Jupiter in the third house show that voice should be used for truth, justice, and upliftment. Okay, that can also be seen. Jupiter in the third house, if it's highly afflicted, then you will see such person will have ability, not ability actually, which will have a problem. They will do over promise. Okay, they will do over promise about anything to the people. So that become a problematic stuff when Jupiter is damaged in the third house. Jupiter in the third house also show that you often find success when you learn to simplify complex idea for public benefit, which means if you are working on something, you may think about the public benefit, right? Like this Jupiter is going to support you more. Like for an example, if you are starting a podcast, so instead of thinking that I will make money from this podcast, if your mindset in such a way that okay, I'm starting this podcast so that with the knowledge that I'm going to share with this podcast to the people who come on this podcast, the guests come, we combine, share the knowledge which is going to be helpful for the viewers. So then this Jupiter is going to give you more benefits. So that's how your mindset should be actually with Jupiter in the third house. Jupiter in the third house, again, excellent careers are media, law, education, marketing, writing, publishing, PR agencies, etc. These professions are good for them, right? With Jupiter in the third house, you thrive in an environment where self-effort bring public recognition. Okay? So Jupiter in the third house also show entrepreneurship, public speaking or teaching can bring massive growth. Jupiter in the third house, again, you can gain fame through especially things like podcasts. And even on podcasts, nowadays people are starting spiritual podcasts, especially in India, where spiritual people come and they share their experiences. Okay, there are certain there are certain probably tantric siddhi guru also like to share some knowledge, because of everything cannot be shared, but some. Okay, there are astrologers come on their channel, right? So there are spiritual, even the mantra people, like different people come, even the spiritual gurus share the wisdom for the people benefit. So yeah, these kind of a podcast can also give you benefit. Also any kind of a lectures, teaching online, spiritual discussion of some kind, if you do about life, that is again a good thing for you. Generally Jupiter in the third house can make you multitasker. Okay, definitely you will see Jupiter third house can bless your hand with some kind of a divine power. Okay, Jupiter in the third house, one remedy for you with Jupiter in the third house is to avoid procrastination. Jupiter in the third house also show that you are the one who are here to create a karmic teacher. You are the one who learn by doing and teaching, by giving different examples to the people. Jupiter in the third house also show that it's a karmic battlefield kind of a placement. Okay, so you will see the remedy that I would like to give you here is avoid mocking any kind of a spiritual person. If you find a saint, if you find a sadhu, if you find a pujari, panditji in mandir, in temple, so you should avoid, never say bad words to them. Okay, avoid saying bad words to elder and your teacher, because teacher is also a guru, right? So remember that if you do that, that will naturally activate negative karma of Jupiter in the third house. Also, if you have Jupiter in the third house, help people by donating, or I would say giving people books. So let's say there is some child who cannot afford to buy some books, so maybe you distribute books. Nowadays there are online organization. Okay, even in India many foundations are there, they have their websites, you can literally donate money, and they show a package that you can buy a book package for the kids. So you can buy and definitely donate money for them, so certain kids will get some benefit, so which is again a good remedy. And of course if you can sponsor someone education, etc., here it's a good idea, right? It's a positive remedy. Wherever you work, okay, at your working area, at your working space, keep it clean, avoid any clutter. Okay, make sure. Then one more remedy for Jupiter in the third house is to feed birds. If you live in some area where nearby you have some bird, of course everywhere we have birds, so take a vessel and fill a water so that the birds can drink water, like a clay pot or something. And can literally along with water you can put satnaja there. Okay, for the birds you can put near your home somewhere water in some vessel so that the birds can drink, and you can put satnaja in some plate or something like you can arrange some system in which birds can eat every day. I hope you know satnaja. Satnaja is 7 grains which you mix together and you give it to the birds. Okay, so yeah, like this is a very good remedy to feed birds, to give them water and food to the birds for gaining the positive effect of Jupiter. Then also never abandon your younger sibling. If you have a younger sibling and Jupiter in the third house, you should always try to help your younger sibling anyhow. Okay, however you can, just help them. Helping your younger sibling is going to give you the positive effect of Jupiter. Never try to do this that okay, this is there, that is there, property is going to be there, I will take all the major chunk of property and I will not give to my younger sibling. Don't do that, because Jupiter in the third house. Always try to help your younger sibling, you will get positive effect of Jupiter. Okay, and if let's say Jupiter in the third house also show that your past life may have involved in, like for an example, you may have involved in spiritual pride. Okay, you might have some kind of a spiritual pride, maybe you are a spiritual guru or something, you have a lot of pride about that. Also it can show that maybe you have misused your knowledge in the past life. Okay, then Jupiter here can also talk about that you have unfinished karma related to your brothers, especially your younger siblings, right, and your neighbors, community leadership. Jupiter here also show that your purpose of life is connected to teaching, writing, speaking, spreading dharmic awareness. Okay, this can also be seen. When you use this Jupiter positively, this placement turn you into a modern sage, guiding masses to right path. Okay, so yeah, this is about Jupiter in the third house. If you want to purchase consultation or courses, links are in comment section and description. Now let's talk about Jupiter in the fourth house. So what will going to happen when Jupiter is placed in the fourth house? So first of all, what does fourth house represent? Fourth house represent our comfort. First of all, fourth house is the house of peace of mind. Fourth house is the country where you born. Fourth house is the house of your mother. Fourth house is the comfort of our life. With the fourth house, we get peace of mind. Okay. Fourth house also represent vehicle, land, property, home. Okay, all these things and thousand other things. And what is Jupiter? Jupiter is a planet which represents wisdom, spirituality, wealth, expansion, dharma, knowledge, children, because it's a putra karka. It is generosity, divine grace, optimism, higher learning, philosophy and justice. All these are represented by Jupiter. So what is going to happen when such planet, Jupiter, is placed in your fourth house? So Jupiter in the fourth house makes, when Jupiter is placed in your fourth house of your chart, you will see emotional intelligence is the key dharma for you. Jupiter in the fourth house show that life purpose of you revolve around creating emotional, spiritual and physical security for self and others. Okay. Jupiter in the fourth house also show that you are born to nurture, to teach, okay, and to shelter people and to become a guide to many people. Okay, like a divine mother or like a divine father. That is what Jupiter here is talking about. Jupiter in the fourth house also show that you must develop faith based inner security and then extend it to others. Jupiter in the fourth house, I've also seen these people somehow or others, okay, even if early in life they could have struggle, at certain point in their life, whether it's early or later, they will live in a very good home, a big home, regardless of which house it is, because Jupiter in the fourth house somehow or other give them a big home. I have seen that. Jupiter in the fourth house can even give you a home where near your home there could be a temple. Okay, there can be a temple. And even like if let's say you are in some western country, maybe there could be some other religious place like a gurudwara or temple or something other, maybe church. Okay, but generally Jupiter in the fourth house, especially if you are in India, you will see you will have some temple near your home. Okay, and even also a people tree can possible. I hope you know what is people tree. When Jupiter in the fourth house, also it show that there could be some kind of a people ka ped near your home, which means ficus tree. You could have a ficus tree near your home or temple, or maybe both. Okay, so yeah, you will also see that. Then Jupiter in the fourth house also show that you must. Jupiter in the fourth house also show that you would have strong connection to your homeland, to your mother, to your tradition. You often become protector of your culture. Now, when a person have Jupiter in the fourth house, you will find it's very rare that the person have Jupiter in the fourth house and he or she is living in foreign land or settled in foreign land. It's a rare combination. Yes, there can be. I want you to write in comment if you have such placement Jupiter in the fourth house and you are living in a foreign land, because I also would like to see certain charts, because some exceptions I have also seen that Jupiter in the fourth house and it's in highly malefic influence or in certain placement, then the person is living abroad. But you will see majority of the time Jupiter in the fourth house show you will have karma connected to your homeland, to your mother, to your traditions. Okay, because Jupiter here in the fourth house keep them connected to their homeland, right? It's rare that Jupiter in the fourth house the person is living abroad. I have seen even if they are living abroad, they somehow back of the mind they think about their home, like the place where you used to live, even though person is living abroad. But still there, there can be some sort of, because when fourth house have such a benefic planet Jupiter, this person even if living in a foreign land due to certain circumstances somehow get connected to their homeland. They will still have some kind of a thing, some emotions that they want to maybe visit homeland or something. You will find like internally they feel some attraction. Okay, although for certain condition due to some circumstances maybe they are living abroad, although it's a rare combination. Very few charts I have seen till now, very few, which have Jupiter in the fourth house and they are living abroad. Okay, most of them have Jupiter have connection with the 12th or 9th house, or Jupiter is very highly afflicted, fourth house is highly afflicted along with Jupiter, then exceptions are there. Okay, although I would like to see such chart. If you guys have Jupiter in the fourth house and you are living in any foreign country, then I would love to see your like chart. You can just drop down comment. Okay, because Jupiter in the fourth house, see, I have seen even if the person is abroad, they somehow feel, oh, I was in India, I used to go to this place to eat that food, here it's not possible. So they have some connection. Whereas let's say if instead of this Jupiter you have some other malefic planet like Mars in the fourth house, this person is not going to feel much attracted. This person in fact feel better. If you have Mars in the fourth house, you will feel better to live in a foreign country. Okay, because Mars in the fourth house in your homeland, you feel constantly frustrated, agitated internally. Even if you have a lot of property or sports car, even then you will see that is the difference. Now if let's say Jupiter Mars combination is there in the fourth house, then it's a very tricky situation. Then you have to see a lot of other things. So let's come back to Jupiter. So Jupiter in the fourth house, your emotional world is very vast. You carry ancestral grace and blessing with Jupiter in the fourth house. I have seen the Jupiter in the fourth house, somehow they have ancestral blessing. This is for sure true. Jupiter in the fourth house also show that your home can become like your temple or sanctuary. Okay, definitely peace at home is necessary for dharma, although generally Jupiter in the fourth house, at some point in their life they will find peace at their home, and which is in their homeland. If you have Jupiter in the fourth house, you have power to heal others emotionally, and you may drawn towards things like psychology, vastu, home-based healing. Jupiter in the fourth house pushes you to spread positivity through hospitality, food, and nurturing. Okay, Jupiter in the fourth house, it also show that you are living like a guru at home. Okay, these people can even perform spiritual traditions ritual, emotional education, etc. Now you see, Jupiter in the fourth house, even if this person is not doing the tradition, etc., I have seen through his mother he have to do it. Because if let's say Jupiter in the fourth house, I have seen this, and this guy is not spiritual somehow because of other planets, but his mother is very spiritual, and because fourth house is mother, so mother is doing all those ritual, and due to which he have to sit there. So I have also seen that, and due to which those rituals are constantly performing in their home, and they get positive results due to that as well. Jupiter in the fourth house also show that your spouse can be traditional, nurturing, cultured, and value families. Value family. Jupiter in the fourth house show that your marriage may bring emotional expansion, real estate, or blessing of elders. Jupiter in the fourth house show that you desire a spouse who share us or support your inner values and spiritual lifestyle as well. Jupiter in the fourth house also show that you may meet your spouse through family, maybe some cultural event, or maybe spiritual environment. Okay, although I've created other videos as well regarding spouse meeting. Then Jupiter in the fourth house, if it's afflicted, then there can be imbalance between your spouse and your mother. So spouse and mother dispute can possible with this, which could lead to stress for you, because you have to negotiate between them. You have to become the mediator between your spouse and your mother. Now see, although of course full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, links are in comment section and description if you want to purchase that. But still, Jupiter from the fourth house aspect your eighth house by its fifth aspect. Now here Jupiter fifth aspect on the eighth house from the fourth house enhances your joint assets. Okay, deep emotional band, I would say, bonding in the marriage can be seen. Jupiter in the fourth house show that you feel more stable in relationship that are emotionally supportive and rooted in values. Jupiter in the fourth house can also indicate that your wife or husband or spouse can be involved in education, hospitality industry, law, healing professions like astrology, Reiki healing, etc., or any other healing profession or education. Maybe consultancy, maybe finance. That can be seen. Jupiter in the fourth house also show that your home environment after marriage is usually very expensive, okay, spiritually uplifting, and filled with learning. Jupiter in the fourth house, if badly placed, Jupiter here may cause over attachment to comfort or tradition. Okay, you will also see Jupiter if placed in the fourth house, your mother can play a very, in fact, I would say your mother will play a very big karmic role in your life. Okay, and definitely very strong chances the mother will be highly religious, wise, and emotionally strong person. Okay, there may, like Jupiter in the fourth house, you may inherit ancestral wisdom, and also generally I've seen they get ancestral land somehow, property, okay, or land. Okay, and also values. Property and real estate often bring gain or success in your life, especially in later part of your life. Jupiter in the fourth house shows strong love for decorating, spiritualizing, and energizing the home space. Jupiter in the fourth house show emotional well-being depends on the state of home and family peace. Jupiter on the fourth house show that you may feel a soul connection to motherland or childhood memory. Okay, I even it may possible that somehow at certain point of their life, Jupiter in the fourth house, they can live and go back to their birthplace near somewhere. Okay, so yeah, Jupiter in the fourth house also show that early home life of you has a strong moral or religious influences. Jupiter in the fourth house can also show that you are meant to build a home where other feel spiritually nourished. Jupiter in the fourth house also show that your emotional security is your fuel for outer success. Jupiter here in the fourth house can also show that your home may become a place of learning, prayer, healing, and even spiritual satsang. Their mother can also be into things like spirituality, satsang, bhajan, kirtan, all that stuff. I've also seen that. Jupiter in the fourth house, through fourth house is is a private matter. So Jupiter here create indirect public success through emotional leadership. That can also be seen. Jupiter in the fourth house, uh, career related to teaching, real estate, hospitality, interior design, astrology, psychology, vastu, or healing are favored generally. Although they can depend upon, although for like full horoscope consultation is required to see the career, because other things play as role as well. So if you want to purchase, consultation are in comments. To purchase, links are in comment section and description. Jupiter in the fourth house show that you may run a spiritual center or teaching hub from home. That can be possible. It can naturally make you a very counselor person. Okay, people can feel emotionally safe around you. People can feel emotionally safe around you. Jupiter in the fourth house show that you often work best when there is emotional meaning in the job, not just money. Jupiter in the fourth house show that work environment of you must reflect your inner value system and peace. That's when you feel better there. Jupiter in the fourth house can also show that you can become cultural custodian. Okay, preserving tradition, language, food, or ritual. Generally, that's also be seen. Then Jupiter in the fourth house. Generally, purpose of this person is to create emotional transformation through wisdom, shelter, and tradition. Okay, Jupiter in the fourth house is generally considered to be a very auspicious placement. It's a very good placement. um, what remedy you can do? First, avoid storing any broken item or impure substances at your home. Okay, also I would say, like, of course, keeping fast of Brihaspati Dev or Lord Vishnu on Thursday, doing ritual, etc., puja, that's a very good idea. Okay, then also never disrespect your mother, your guru, teacher, professors, even saint, uh, even the pandit ji in temple, because they all represent Jupiter. So never do that, otherwise you will feel problem in your life, especially the fourth house related matter. Also, of course, you should definitely create a prayer corner in your home where you can prayer, like a prayer place, right? So which is a good idea with Jupiter. It's in fact one of the best thing for you, because although like in Hinduism everyone have that, but still in general for every religion person, if you can create, it's a very good idea. Also, feeding cows, okay, helping cows anyhow, and avoid eating non-veg and especially beef. Okay, if you can, that's really a great idea with Jupiter here, because that will not afflict Jupiter. So that is again a good idea. Jupiter here in the fourth house show that in past life you may have been a spiritual leader or a teacher or family elder with who have many responsibility. Jupiter in the fourth house also show that your soul growth will happen through forgiveness, nurturing, and creating a spiritual space for others. Jupiter in the fourth house show that your house can become a gateway to divine experiences. Okay, if you follow spiritual value, right? So yeah, generally Jupiter in the fourth house is considered to be a good placement in terms of getting a good home. They also have big vehicles generally. Okay, you will also see that buying a big cars, right? SUV, etc. type of cars they will buy. I have seen that. So yeah, this is all about Jupiter in the fourth house. If you want to purchase consultation or courses, links are in comment section and description. Okay, now let's talk about Jupiter in fifth house. Okay, so if Jupiter is placed in the fifth house, okay, so first of all, what does fifth house represent? Fifth house is the house of your kids, is the house of your love, is the house of romance, is the house of creativity, it's the house of passion, what you are passionate about in this life. Fifth house also represent your education. Fifth house is also your mind. Okay, fifth house is speculation of any kind that you do in life, right? and 1,000 other things that are represented by fifth house. Then what is Jupiter? Right? Jupiter represent your guru. Jupiter is your dharma. Jupiter is your knowledge. Okay? Then what else Jupiter represent? Jupiter represent your vitality, your wealth, expansion, knowledge, children, okay, divine grace, optimism, higher learning, philosophy and justice. All this is Jupiter. When such planet is going to sit in your fifth house, then what is going to happen? When this Jupiter sit in the fifth house, it gives you a divine purpose related to wisdom, okay, related to creation, related to dharma. Life purpose of you with Jupiter in the fifth house revolve around spreading knowledge, spreading creativity, okay. And actually it is like you are showing lights to others. That is the kind of a placement it is. Jupiter in the fifth house show that you are born to inspire future generation, okay, either through your teaching or through your art or maybe through your children, okay. Jupiter in the fifth house bless you with natural intelligence, or rather I would say wisdom, okay. You will see with Jupiter in the fifth house. Generally these people will have high moral compass with Jupiter in the fifth house until or unless it is getting afflicted. Jupiter in the fifth house show that your one major goal is to walk the path of truth, satya, okay, on the path of dharma and on the path of creativity. Jupiter in the fifth house also show that your higher self is connected to joy, performance and creation. Joy, performance and creation. Jupiter in the fifth house also show that your higher self is connected to joy, performance and creation. Right? Naturally Jupiter in the fifth house give you an aura that attract other people towards you. Okay? Jupiter in the fifth house, naturally you are seen as natural teachers, philosopher. People will see you as a kind of a spiritual leader in the community you live. Jupiter when placed in the fifth house, your life challenges become inspiration for others. Okay? You can become a motivational guide for others. Jupiter in the fifth house show that your purpose include raising consciousness through intellect, through music, writing or spiritual arts. Jupiter in the fifth house also make you eternal student and eternal givers of wisdom. So generally you will see these people will also share their wisdom and these people will also learn from other people. Okay? So you will see that Jupiter in the fifth house give you wise and moral romantic partner generally. Okay? You will see that. Generally with Jupiter in the fifth house, you are attracted to the people who are cultured, educated, traditional or spiritual. Love marriage can possible with Jupiter in the fifth house because blessings of Jupiter are there. Okay? Based on your strong intellectual or philosophical bond. Because when benefics aspect or sit in the fifth house, then love marriage it become a very good position. Whereas when malefics are here, then it create trouble a lot. So Jupiter here can support that. Jupiter here also show that your spouse can often be someone who bring luck and joy and expansion in your life. Okay? If you follow ethics and dharmic paths, so love affair can be auspicious to you. Jupiter in the fifth house when said, it is going to aspect your ninth house from here by its fifth aspect. So it can give you a spouse who is spiritual and has foreign links. Okay? Jupiter in the fifth house also show that your children become a medium of dharma. Okay? Or even a reason that you meet your life partner. Okay? So that can also be possible. Maybe you have certain karma related to your child that you are destined to meet this girl and that's when this children born. right? That can be seen. Now, of course, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big pictures. Links in comment section and description are given if you want to purchase that. But still, these things can be seen. Jupiter in the fifth house also, show that marriage for you must be with someone who support your creative and intellectual growth. Okay. Jupiter in the fifth house also show your married life expand positively when you maintain purity in love and honesty. If Jupiter in the fifth house is afflicted, then you may idealize too much in love. That could lead to delay or heartbreak in your life. Okay. Jupiter in the fifth house also show that there will be a natural blessing for childbirth. Right? Your child are lucky, wise and spiritual people. Right? Generally with this. Jupiter in the fifth house is a strong combination, or otherwise I would say strong placement, that your first child may be a guide, a teacher or a very wise soul with wisdom. Right? And if let's say they're like when such people's child born, first if it's not afflicted and their dasha of Jupiter etc. is going on, then I have seen like their kids speak in such a good manner that people say, how can this young kid have so much wisdom? Right? Then Jupiter in the fifth house, you may become a spiritual or education guide to young people or to young students. Right? That can also be seen. Jupiter in the fifth house show creative expression is a part of your soul. Right? You must write, you must sing, you must paint. Right? That can also be seen. Jupiter in the fifth house show that you may be highly respected in astrology, music, academia, teaching, religion, education related work. Okay. Jupiter in the fifth house also show that you will have a great potential to become an astrologer, author, life coach or even a professor of some kind. Jupiter in the fifth house also show that there will be a strong link of you with Vedic knowledge, with mantras, ritual, classic education. Jupiter in the fifth house also show that your purpose of life include mentors, or I would say mentoring other, teaching other, guiding other, especially the younger generation. Okay. You will see Jupiter when placed in the fifth house. The surprising thing is that these people somehow use their some kind of a creative talent for upliftment of other people. That is their karma. Jupiter in the fifth house also show that you are intellectually gifted and often receive divine blessing in education. In the fifth house also show that your life purpose includes gaining and distributing divine knowledge. Okay, that can be seen. Jupiter in the fifth house I've also seen, even if let's say your education due to other combination is interrupted somehow, still these people will have lot of wisdom in their life, maybe more than an educated person, or I would say more educated person even if it's there. This person with Jupiter in the fifth house is going to have more wisdom. Jupiter in the fifth house can make you a guru, a counselor, someone who's giving consultation, inspirational figure in society. Jupiter in the fifth house show great memory, power and capacity for research, writing and storytelling is going to be there. Jupiter in the fifth house, your intelligence is not just logic but spiritually guided wisdom. Jupiter in the fifth house show you must share what you learn, right? Knowledge is your wealth. Jupiter in the fifth house also shows spiritual education or learning things like Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, Puran, etc. is going to be helpful for your soul. Jupiter in the fifth house, generally it's a good placement, right? Do not, I would say, cheat people in love or in exams. It activates negative karma of Jupiter. That's a remedy. Keep your home very pure and clean, right? And maybe use some spiritual stuff like dhoop batti etc. That's a very good thing. Then obviously like taking the blessings of saints, offering them some money, food, touching their feet and respecting them, the priest in the temple and the sadhus, the priest you met, all that kind of a stuff is very good for you to activate the positive thing of this Jupiter. You should respect your father and father like figure. That is also important here to keep this Jupiter positive. Avoid false ego, okay, or pride in knowledge will ruin this Jupiter. Do not misuse mantra, astrology, or any kind of a these kind of a knowledge. Always use them for positive purpose to help others. Jupiter in the fifth house also show that in past life you may have been a royal advisor, okay, an advisor to king or something, or you could be a philosopher or a Vedic scholar. Jupiter in the fifth house also show that you may have misused wisdom, you may cheated student or manipulated via mantra to someone if it's negative here. Okay, Jupiter in the fifth house can also show that in this life, like giving honor to true knowledge and guiding others without attachment is really important. Okay, it is a great potential. If you have Jupiter in the fifth house, you will have a great potential to teach masses or start education or spiritual movements. Jupiter in the fifth house also show that the future spouse may be karmically connected to past life teacher or student or something like that kind of a bond maybe you could have with this Jupiter. Right? Jupiter here also show that if you have Jupiter in the fifth house, your definitely role is to somehow guide people in the society with your wisdom. So yeah, this is all about Jupiter in the fifth house. If you want consultation or purchase courses, links are in comment section and description. Okay, now let's talk about Jupiter in the sixth house. When Jupiter is placed in the sixth house, what does first of all sixth house represent? Sixth house is the rogue rini shatru, which means the enemy, debts and enemies and diseases. Right? Sixth house is the house of loans. Sixth house is the house of which actually force you to struggle as well. Okay? But sixth house is also the house which help you in making money in a way. Because sixth house is 7th from the 12th and 7th is also your opposition. So it's 12th from the 7th, which means the money of your opposition, which means your benefit. Okay? So it's a difficult concept. I'm just telling you. Sixth house also represent your maternal uncles and aunts. Okay? Okay, so what does sixth house represent? Sixth house represent your health, diseases. Okay, more like a health issue. Your daily work routine, your workplace, your work environment, your enemies, the competition that you face in your life. Right? Sixth house represent debts, financial obligation. Okay? Sixth house is the house of seva, which means service. Now, service not necessarily means job. Service means providing service of any kind. Whether you are doing a job, that is also service. A doctor is also providing your service through consultations. Astrologer is also providing you service through consultation. In the same way, a psychiatrist is also providing you service. So that is also service. An internet provider who is doing a business is also providing you his service or her service. Sixth house also represents pet animals. Sixth house again represents any kind of a service, seva. If you go to a temple and you just clean the floor there, that is also sixth house. Positive utilization. Okay, or I would say a remedy. Right? And then what does Jupiter represent? Okay. So Jupiter is the planet which represents dharma. Okay, Jupiter is purity. Jupiter is wisdom. Jupiter is spirituality, Jupiter is wealth, expansion, luck, bhagya, dharma, knowledge. Jupiter is also your putra karka nasargik, which means natural, your child significator. Jupiter is your generosity. Jupiter is represent divine grace. Jupiter is the planet which represent optimism, higher learning. Okay, philosophy, justice is all represented by Jupiter. Okay, so you will see that. So now, when such planet is placed into such a pure and a positive planet is placed into the such sixth house, which also represent competition, enemy, etc., then what's going to happen? So, see, when Jupiter come into the sixth house, so that your life purpose lies in solving problems of others. Okay, definitely you will become a problem solver. You will see people with who have Jupiter in the sixth house, people come to them somehow or other who are in problem, right? So people, they may be a lawyer, let's say, they may be an astrologer, they may be a doctor, they may be a psychiatrist or anything, where people who have problems, they come to them for advice or for help or anything like that, or consultations. Okay, because that's what Jupiter in the sixth house show. It can make you good in these things. Also, you are naturally a problem solver, so you can even solve the problem of like for an example, doing something different, something new, innovation. Okay, someone like Elon Musk, that can also be like Jupiter in the sixth house, right? Who is just solving different kind of a problem. Okay, like he's thinking, okay, let's go to the space, right? Who is also, by the way, earning from service providing. He also have other combination, but I'm just telling you. Then Jupiter in the sixth house also represent what? Jupiter say that whenever it is placed in the sixth house, you will see that this person is born to serve society or people, to heal people, to guide people, to uplift other in their day-to-day life. Okay, sixth house is the enemy place, Shatru Bhava, and Jupiter is a teacher with wisdom and books. So when you are into the battlefield with enemy, you must not have to be with the books, you must have to be with the sword. But Jupiter doesn't like to carry sword. Jupiter likes to carry books and wisdom. Right? Jupiter is a guru who will guide a person, who will teach a person, who will not going to fight with the sword. Okay. So you will see whenever a person have Jupiter in the sixth house, generally the good thing is that they try to avoid fight, etc. Of course, until or unless other planets are joined, then things can change, then it become a shake. But generally with Jupiter in the sixth house if place, you see such person definitely with their wisdom try to avoid any kind of a fight. Okay, even Jupiter here, through their wisdom they defeat enemy. Generally Jupiter here is, in a way, it's a good placement for defeating your enemies. Okay, because Jupiter you here protect you from your enemies. And since when it sit in the sixth house, its seventh aspect fall exactly opposite to the 12th house, which represent jail, etc. So Jupiter will protect you from that problem as well, right? From diseases, right? And such kind of a thing. So in this way, it's really a good idea. If Jupiter is well placed here, generally this person won't even have enemy. At least they are not visible. But there can be certain people who may be their hidden enemies. Actually, I will not even call them enemies. They are like jealous from this guy or this girl. Like for an example, this girl is having a little bit good thing and fun in their life. So there are certain people who they know who are not their enemy actually, but they always be jealous from these people. That can possible with this Jupiter in the sixth house, and they may try to send some negative energy, evil eye, and all that stuff. Okay, so yeah, that can be seen. Then you will also see Jupiter in the sixth house can give you intestine related issues, okay, liver related issues, stomach infections like that. Okay, maybe you have liver problems or somehow or other stomach, intestine, these things like issues, gastric issues, all that because of especially stomach and intestine related issues I have seen again and again with Jupiter in the sixth house. Jupiter in the sixth house show that your purpose of life is to transform personal struggle into the tool of empowerment of other. Actually, what happens is that they also face some struggle in their life, which help them. Like, see, the person who face struggle themselves can only understand other people's struggle. If a person is born with everything and they have no problems, people come to them, oh, I have this thing, that thing. They will say, oh, come on, work hard, move in life, everything is fine. Because for them they have not seen the problem. The person who have seen the mental issues or traumas, they can understand other person's pain, right? So that is why these people can be good into healing or guiding others, because they have learned a lot through their struggles in life. Okay, such person who have Jupiter in the sixth house, they can win battles, of course, but not with aggression, but they will win through their wisdom, through their knowledge. Okay, that's what they use to win a battle. Jupiter in the sixth house, your life will repeatedly bring conflicts, debts, diseases, legal matter can possible, not to punish you but actually to teach you certain lessons in your life. Now see, generally Jupiter in the 6th house, if it's well placed, it's going to give you benefic results. Okay, but yeah, there can be certain depths that you take to do certain, to purchase certain stuff. Diseases come in the Jupiter in the 6th house, especially I told you again, related to liver, stomach, etc., right? That can be seen. And if this Jupiter is aspected by, let's say, Saturn, that I have also seen that they could have low iron in their body, and due to which they have hemoglobin low in their body. Okay, so iron deficiency causes low hemoglobin also. Okay, when Jupiter is placed in the 6th house and is aspected by Saturn, I've also seen that. Okay, if you also have something like this, please let me know in the comment. That would be nice discussion. Then what also you will see with Jupiter in the 6th house, you are destined to become a spiritual warrior or a healer for others. The biggest growth come in your life by accepting small duties with a big heart. When you have Jupiter in the 6th house, your soul is learning to turn your daily obstacle into spiritual opportunities. Jupiter in the 6th house also show that when you embrace humanity, your Jupiter give you divine results. Whenever you have Jupiter in the 6th house, make sure your gold must not be lost. Remember this. If you have Jupiter in the 6th house, and let's say your gold ring is lost, or any form of gold, right, the pure gold you have, let's say you have a ring, you have a chain, you have a gold biscuit, or you purchase little bit 10 gram of gold or something, like anything, any jewelry or whatever. Every person have different stuff. They like to invest money in gold, let's say, and you purchase it, and let's say your gold is lost. So you will see losing a gold with Jupiter in the 6th house, or someone had stolen your gold, which means that Jupiter is now going to give you negative result, or at least this 1 year period can be negative for you. Okay, when you lost the gold, right, you should understand that. And if you are facing such problem, if your gold get lost or stolen, you are robbed, your gold chain, your gold rings or any form of gold is getting lost or stolen, it is definitely Jupiter in the 6th house is giving negative indication. This is like the thing you can understand. So what you can do, and especially when you are into a relationship or marriage, near that period, if this happen, definitely it's a very strong indication that Jupiter is negative here. So what you can do is, in that particular case, you can do this remedy, that you do service in the temples. So you go to temple, you work there as a sweeper, which means you will not take money from there. You go every day, you clean the floor there, you do cleaning process of temple every single day. Do it for at least 100 days. Start from Thursday and do it for constantly, continuously for 100 days without skipping even one day. Every day you go there, clean the temple, cleaning there, doing some sort of seva, giving service to the temple, which is represent Jupiter, or maybe Gurudwara as well. You can do, both are Jupiter significator. So if you do that, then Jupiter get healed. Also taking blessings of any saint, especially the one who is wearing the yellow or saffron clothes, is again a great idea. So yeah, this is what you can do in a way to gain the positive effect of this Jupiter. I will tell you more things later. But yeah, and also never put your gold on mortgage. Okay, especially if let's say there is a gold ring or something which your parents give you or your ancestor give you, you should always keep that as a positive, because whenever you get gold ring or something related to gold from your mother, father, grandfather, etc., ancestor, you should always keep that in your home in a safe area, because that is like working as a remedy for Jupiter in the 6th house. That will give you protection. Okay, always remember that. You should never sell that or never put that on the mortgage, otherwise this Jupiter will become negative and then it will give you horrible result. Also, one more very strong remedy, I'm telling you this thing now. When you have Jupiter in the 6th house, never eat chicken, never eat egg. I am repeating again with full confidence. Whenever a person have Jupiter in the 6th house, he or she, if they eat chicken or if they eat eggs, I am telling you, you are cutting your own hands and legs with the knife, because Jupiter in the sixth house, when placed, one great remedy of Jupiter is to serve hen, to serve chicken. You go into the chicken farm where there are so many chicken, or you have to save chicken. You have to give them yellow seeds on Thursday to eat. That is again a great remedy. But what you are doing, instead of serving those chicken, you are eating them, you are killing them. And whenever I am telling you with full confidence this thing, you will see, if you have Jupiter in the sixth house, you eat chicken and you eat eggs, I am telling you, you will definitely going to, you will face a lot of problems in your life, 100%. Okay, at some point in your life you will face things like diabetes, okay, major health issues like colitis, okay, intestinal severe infections, liver fibrosis or something like that. You will see that, because what's going to happen, Jupiter in the sixth house, you should never eat chicken and eggs, never. Okay, Jupiter get very badly afflicted, especially, although you should avoid non-veg, but especially I'm giving more power to the chicken and hen and all these stuff and eggs, because these three things come into the category. When Jupiter in the sixth house, you should never create them, because there is a remedy to serve chicken and you are eating that. That's a horrible thing, I'm telling you. Jupiter in the sixth house, never eat chicken, eggs, hen, etc. Because what's going to happen, if you eat them, this negative Jupiter will activate, and then it will give you financial crisis problem. Things like you will face bankruptcy, losses, major health issues, things like diabetes, or like even I don't want to name certain diseases which are very incurable. So yeah, you should be very careful, and I'm telling you with a very strong research, with this Jupiter in the sixth house, please, if you eat it, stop it from today. I'm telling you, this is very important what I'm telling you. Please take it seriously. I never say with so much power, but if you have Jupiter in the sixth house, I'm telling you, because I have seen results. Whenever Jupiter in the sixth house, one great remedy is always to go and rescue chicken, to save some chicken's life, right? If you have Jupiter in the sixth house, actually on Thursday, what you have to do, you have to go to a chicken farm, or where there are chickens, or let's say you have somewhere like chickens roaming around in the jungle. You buy some golden corn, and you just give them to eat. Wherever you find chicken, buy golden corn, put them into your car or something, and just take in your hand and throw, so that the chickens can eat it. It is a great remedy for you if you have Jupiter in the sixth house. And if you do that on every Thursday, that's excellent. Although you can do it in every day, right? If you do it on every day, that's amazing, but at least do it on Thursday. I'm telling you, this is an excellent remedy. And never eat chicken, save them, serve them, otherwise this Jupiter will destroy you. So yeah, I'm sorry I went too much onto this point, but it is really important, believe me, it's very important. Then you will see Jupiter in the sixth house also show that your spouse may come from service background, like she or he could be into the medical field, legal field like lawyer, etc. Maybe into some kind of a daily work routine, maybe into NGO, or maybe into the like other things as well. For that, of course, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Links are in comment section and description. Jupiter in the sixth house also show that you may meet your spouse through when you are visiting, let's say, hospital. Let's say you are going for work, okay, or you are going for healing related environment where you can meet. Jupiter in the sixth house also show that marriage of you will improve when both you and your partner serve each other with humility. Okay. Jupiter in the sixth house also show that you may have to serve your spouse due to their health, or due to emotional support, or due to your karmic reason. Right? Then Jupiter in the sixth house also show that your future spouse may have a strong connection to Jupiterian themes, wisdom, justice, or healing. Jupiter in the sixth house also show that, or I would say rather that it confirm that in marriage, if let's say ego is there, okay, then there could be issues, right? So you must avoid judging or correcting your partner too much. It spoils this Jupiter grace. Okay. Then Jupiter in the sixth house also show, see, Jupiter here can delay or test your love. Okay. because there is something related to past life karma with the spouse. Okay, and especially let's say seventh lord is Jupiter in the sixth house, then yes, there can be a lot of delay in marriage and testing love and all that stuff. And you could even meet your destined partner, which is very strong. Then you will see, if this Jupiter is well placed in the sixth house, then your spouse will definitely help you in solving struggles, in solving daily routines, in solving your health issues. You become like a teammate with your spouse. If it's afflicted here, then you may experience, as I told you, legal separation, legal issue, dispute, chronic disease in marriage, or chronic issues in marriage. Then Jupiter in the sixth house also show that your career can thrive in the field of astrology, healing, law related field, medicine, teaching, social work of some kind. Your purpose of life is to solve others' problem, manage crisis, or uplift other people, employees, worker, etc. You become an excellent advisor, manager, HR leader if you keep your ego aside with Jupiter in the sixth house. Jupiter in the sixth house show you can succeed in competitive exam because of Jupiter blessing at certain point. Because remember, when Jupiter is placed in the sixth house, its fifth aspect fall into your 10th house of career. So even with this struggle, there is definitely going to be success. Okay, and Jupiter 7th aspect is on 12th house, so there could be some foreign connection as well in your life. And Jupiter 9th aspect is on your second house of family, finance, saving, money, things you value. So there could be definitely financial wise, it can give you struggle, but ultimately it can give you upliftment, good in terms of money, etc. due to your career. Okay, then you will also see, as I mentioned earlier, hidden enemies can possible with Jupiter, who is trying to send you negative energies and all that stuff. So be watchful. Maybe some of your relatives or someone you know are very jealous of you internally, right? Jupiter here, like can also, even the enemies. See, the good thing about Jupiter is, even if it give you struggle, that will become blessing later. So let's say even if it give you some enemies here, they will be such a good enemies that ultimately if they challenge you, you become a better person ultimately with that challenge also when you overcome it. So in a way, this Jupiter will ultimately help you. So with Jupiter in the sixth house, true victory in life comes by choosing seva, service over superiority. So your mindset should always be like a service oriented when you have Jupiter in the sixth house. Okay, remember that. True victory in life come by choosing, definitely, as I mentioned, seva. And also you will see with Jupiter in the sixth house, you may attract co-workers who are secretly oppose you, or I would say somehow create problems sometimes. Okay, that can also be seen or test. If afflicted, can give you things like weight issues, belly fat, liver related issues when it's afflicted. And it can give you things like digestive issues, stress from overwork, and diabetes also, as I mentioned earlier. Also, debts in life may not just be financial, they are karmic, related to past life misuse power. That can also possible. Now when you see, your health can improve with Jupiter in the sixth house when you maybe things like Ayurvedic medicine can work here more. I have seen with Jupiter in the sixth house in comparison to allopathy, Indian Ayurveda system definitely going to help you more. Okay, and even you are in from India, you understand there are certain places in India where, let's say, you have a pains in certain part of your body and something is not working. There are certain spiritual people, you go to them and you call them, that they literally take something like an iron stick or maybe a peacock feather, and they put it on your body, they touch it for 3-4 times and they chant certain mantra, and suddenly the pain disappear. It's so magical. It is called to be as jhada lagana, which is like a removing the negative stuff. And I have seen myself this miracles, that you go there is a pain in the tooth, the doctor say you have to take painkiller, and when the painkiller is not working, it's an unbearable pain, and that lady go there, and this guy literally have this small stick of wood, and he literally touch that stick very gently 3 times to her, like on her face, and boom, that after 10 minutes the pain is gone, right? This is the power of mantra, and especially if you have Jupiter in the 6th house, such miraculous things. And even I have seen the people in India who are like, because I have always been in seen these peoples. There is a man who literally, someone is suffering from certain disease, and they were not able to cure, even though they were taking like so expensive doctors they visit and all that tests, etc. But then there is a guy, right, who literally chant some mantra and give them, like, ask them to bring a biscuit packet, and literally they bring the biscuit packet, the family, and the man chant some mantra, close his eyes and light, right, and he asked, like, the biscuit is closed, the packet is closed, of course, and from very far distance he literally put the packet on his hand, chant some mantra and give it back to them, and said that now give it to the patient. And you won't believe, the patient was close to I, like she used to be neighbor, and next day it was miracle, her health improved suddenly with that biscuit packet. I have seen such things a lot in my life, actually, such things a lot in my life, to be honest with you. So with Jupiter in the 6th house, divine grace help you a lot. Divine, especially if you have Jupiter in the 6th house, although those people can do miracles for anyone, I have seen such things a lot with my naked eyes, so I believe it. Even once a pain get of my body get removed also, so I believe a lot because I have seen with my eyes, right? But these people I have seen, they, when these real people who actually exist, I have seen this thing common, they are very hidden, and you have to go into the very narrow streets to go because they are somewhere doing their sadhanas, they are chanting certain mantras, some are doing some siddhis and all that stuff, and their homes are very narrow streets somewhere in the village where a modern person might not go. Okay, although when you face a lot of pains and the best doctor says sorry we cannot help you, then definitely you go and you see the miracle that yes, God exists, destiny exists, and they pray to the, let's say, they do siddhis of Devi, goddess Durga, and maybe Lord Shiva, and maybe Saturn siddhi, and I have seen different other, like different siddhis. I have seen people who did these things, right? Lord Hanuman related siddhis and all that stuff. So I have seen these things myself, especially if you have Jupiter in the 6th house, these things work very well for you. These spiritual people can cure your problems. Okay, they may tell you certain remedies, and those remedy can do miracles for you that no medicines were doing. So yeah, and these people generally, they are, as I mentioned, they don't want any fame, and I've also seen they don't even take money. Could you believe it? This person help you for no reason. They are also doing seva, they're doing service, because they don't even ask you for the money, they don't even need any fame from you. You just go there, you just help them, you just ask them that I'm facing this, and they have no intention. Could you believe? There are so many fake people in the world, but those guys I have seen myself, they literally take no money, right? You just don't even pay them money, you pay them, and you don't even pay them anything. They're just helping people, humanity, without any reason, because they have a connection with the God, and they are helping them because they just want to improve. Like, they are like, we are doing the positive karma for the humanity, we are not doing it for money or fame, and they don't give a shit about the fame, right? So believe me, so such things will definitely going to help you if you have Jupiter in the 6th house. So if you can find someone like that, and in India there's a lot of people like that, I can tell you, but they are somewhere hidden in the villages, right? And I have seen that again and again. You won't believe, people in India, there are certain people in India village, by seeing the faces they tell your past, future, and everything. Forget about the astrology even. They just look at your face, ask your name, close their eyes, and boom, they tell you. I was shocked, right? So I've seen so many of these spiritual people. It's hard for me to explain here. I get goosebumps when they tell such thing that only I know about my life, no one else know. And they told that then you get shocked, like, how can this person know this? So yeah. So let's come back to Jupiter in the 6th house. So yeah, Jupiter in the 6th house, if you have these things, will help you. Okay. So yeah, these Ayurveda and such spiritual things, if you luckily get any spiritual person like that, even taking the blessing of any saint, etc., priest, they will help you here. Okay. Then Of course, mantra, prayers, etc. Jupiter here can help you. Being vegetarian, it's really an important here with Jupiter in the sixth house, right? Generally, eating vegan food, vegetarian food, it's a good idea. Then, definitely, spirituality, Ayurveda, holistic approach is important in life. You must avoid overgiving or helping unworthy people. If you have Jupiter in the sixth house and you are facing any financial issue, then remedy I would like to give you is you start to serve people without any expectation, like those people which I told you. They are serving other, they don't even need your money, they don't even need your fame, they don't need anything from you. They are just helping you, right? So in that way you should also, like, whatever skill you have, let's say you are a lawyer, of course you make money, you need your all that stuff, but there are certain needy people who may need you, who can't pay you money, so you can help them, maybe help some of them without any reason. So that's what you can do. If you are a doctor, you are taking fees, etc., but you can have a camp maybe once in a month, twice in a month, okay, in which you give free treatment to the people who need it. So you can do in that way seva. So this is what we have to do, okay? You can distribute free food to the people who need it. So all these things are really important when you have Jupiter in the sixth house. I've also seen one more thing. Whenever you have Jupiter in the sixth house, sometime I've seen banana or banana shake, eating banana or banana shake can give them gastritis, stomach pain, stomach infection. So banana might not suit them. If Jupiter in the sixth house, I've also seen this to the certain people, not all, but yeah, in many cases I've seen that as well, because that is again connected to the Jupiter. Uh, so yeah, then of course praying to Lord Jupiter, Lord Vishnu, okay, Brihaspati Dev Puja or Lord Vishnu Puja, especially on Thursday, is excellent if you have Jupiter in the sixth house. Uh, Jupiter in the sixth house, in generally it's a good placement, but there are certain challenges as well, which I mentioned already. Uh, if you have Jupiter in the sixth house, one more remedy I would like to tell you: take a little bit of turmeric powder, okay, and some kind of a yellow sweet like yellow barfi that you get in India, and take chane ki dal, which means that the yellow chana gram which is there. You can search on Google, chane ki dal, right, which is of yellow color. Take these three things: any Indian yellow sweet, chane ki dal, and yellow turmeric. Take them into a bowl or something, and on Thursday, you offer it to the banana tree where the Lord Vishnu is considered to be, like the Brihaspati Dev tree it is considered to be. So you offer it, like you put it in some temple or near some banana tree where the spiritual practices is going on in India. If you do that, it's really a great idea. Okay. Always keep your workplace and bathroom, etc., very clean with Jupiter in the sixth house. Okay, never insult your teacher, never insult priest, never insult your servant. Otherwise, you can face sudden health related issues. Okay, if you have Jupiter in the sixth house, one great remedy is that whenever you find any dogs, street dog, etc., you should always feed them. Never beat, never create any problem for any dog. Whenever you find a dog, always serve them. They will save this Jupiter in the sixth house. It's again an excellent remedy. Giving them whatever you can to eat. Okay? Helping, let's say a dog is in, I've seen this dog is in trouble. They have some bone break, etc. Ask a doctor to treat them and pay the money to get dog cured. That is again an excellent remedy. Giving food every single day to certain dogs is again a great remedy. So yeah, this is all about Jupiter in the sixth house. If you want personal consultation or purchase courses, links are in comment section and description. So now let's talk about Jupiter in the seventh house. So if Jupiter is placed in the seventh house, so first of all, what does seventh house represent? Seventh house is the house which represent your marriage. It's the house of your spouse. It is the house of business partnership. It is the house of sexual attraction and desire. It is the house of public interaction and social standing. It is the house of business. It is the house which represent like someone who is other, right? Because first house is you and it is directly opposite, right? And 1,000 other things that we can see from the seventh house. And what does the planet Jupiter represent? Jupiter is a planet which represent, so Jupiter represent wisdom, spirituality, wealth, expansion, dharma, knowledge, children, guru, generosity, divine grace, optimism, higher learning, philosophy, and justice. Okay, all this is Jupiter. So, and Jupiter is also your luck. And Jupiter represent your children significator also, because Jupiter is Putra Karka. Okay, which means the significator of your child. So when such planet is placed in the 7th house, how this is going to impact your life? So Jupiter in the 7th house, first of all, makes your marriage and partnership your soul's primary focus. Okay, so with this, marriage and partnership somehow you become your sole primary focus. With Jupiter in the 7th house, your life purpose becomes somehow to learn how to share, guide, okay, and grow through committed relationship. Jupiter in the 7th house bless you with innate sense of justice, diplomacy, and fairness. Jupiter in the 7th house also show that your dharma is connected to building harmonious partnership, personal and professional level both. Jupiter when placed in the 7th house, so it's directly opposite is first house, so its 7th aspect fall on your first house. So it make you a very wise mentor in your relationship. Okay, definitely you will see that. I have also seen with Jupiter in the 7th house, especially if you are a male, many times their wives become teacher or professor of some kind, and their wives make money for them. Okay, even if it's a traditional country, somehow Jupiter in the 7th house at certain point in their life, a man have this placement, their wife somehow earn money for them by teaching someone. Generally Jupiter in the 7th house, regardless of gender, your husband or wife, your spouse, can be little bit of, with age can gain little bit of like body weight, okay, or little bit of fat that can be seen, and they can earn money somehow in their life, even if early when you get married they are not earning, somehow or other through teaching or through Jupiter significator they earn money. Okay, you will also see that with Jupiter in the 7th house, your marriage becomes spiritual path, not just a social contract. Jupiter in the 7th house also shows, the 7th house signifies business alliances. So Jupiter in the 7th house shows that you must learn to cooperate with ego. Okay, Jupiter in the 7th house also show that your soul growth come when you uplift your partner rather than dominate or fix them. Jupiter in the 7th house also show the balance between the material partnership and spiritual alignment is key. Jupiter when placed in the 7th house, Jupiter here teaches you long term success lies in mutual respect and wisdom sharing. Okay, also I have seen when Jupiter is placed in the 7th house, then marriage is highly significant. Somehow marriage somehow become a highly significant event in your destiny. Okay, many times their destiny can get better with marriage generally. You will also see that Jupiter when placed in the 7th house, your future spouse may be highly educated, spiritual or philosophical in nature. I have also seen Jupiter in the 7th house, somehow your spouse will become a teacher, a mentor or a guru for you. Actually many times their spouse, it's little bit of this thing that when you have Jupiter in the 7th house, at certain point you will feel like you married to your professor, because you get a spouse who is like a professor. Sometimes she or he could even behave with you like as if they are your teacher and you are a student and you should listen to them. You will see this kind of a feeling you will get for sure in your life with Jupiter in the 7th house. At certain point you will feel that, oh my god, she scolded me like as if she is my teacher or professor. He behaves sometime like my teacher or professor, but in a positive way, like they will also guide you in your life somehow. Okay, then marriage bring expansion, either emotionally, financially or socially. This placement of Jupiter in the 7th house indicate good fortune after marriage, especially when Jupiter is strong. If Jupiter in the 7th house is, let's say, afflicted highly by malefic etc., then you may face moral superiority. Okay, or issues of control or ego in the marriage. Okay, spouse with Jupiter in the seventh house may come from a higher caste or different philosophical background. Okay, see, although Jupiter naturally become 12th lord in Kalpurusha Kundli, if you see Kalpurusha Kundli, Jupiter is 12th and ninth lord in the 7th house. So it's kind of a make a long distance or foreign related connection as well, but it's not necessary because generally Jupiter represents dharma. So these people, it's really hard for these people to go against their religion to marry some foreigner. But yeah, of course, if Rahu or other Saturn or ninth lord etc. is somehow playing their game, then things can possible like that. But for that, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Links are in comment section and description. Jupiter in the seventh house also bring multiple offers or opportunity for marriage, especially in early adulthood. Okay, uh, you will also see that Jupiter in the seventh house, your sole lesson is somehow don't seek perfection, seek growth and spiritual companion. Jupiter in the seventh house when placed, it also show that the career like law, diplomacy, marriage counseling, marriage bureau, public relation, PR agencies, or teaching, teacher, professor, creating courses, selling them, see such thing, coaching, etc. Such thing become very good career for such people that will give them money. Because ultimately, when Jupiter sits in the seventh house, its fifth aspect fall on your 11th house of income. So you will see that if Jupiter in the seventh house, you are destined to lead partnership or act as a guide or a mentor in business. Jupiter in the seventh house shows strong potential for success through joint venture or business alliance. Jupiter, when placed in the seventh house, if it's well placed, Jupiter bring respect, honor, and public credibility to you. Okay, Jupiter in the seventh house, you gain success by helping other. You will see that. But I have also seen Jupiter in the seventh house. Sometime it become the native so good person. I have seen so good. I have seen literally Jupiter in the seventh house. The person is jeweler, and then some person come. Oh sir, please help me. Please put my little bit gold with you, and please give me more money in comparison to the value of this gold. Oh please do it. And such sometimes Jupiter in the seventh house make you such a good person. Let's say he is giving you a gold ring whose value is $1,000, but he is asking you $2,000 or $1,500. So you become so good human being with Jupiter in the seventh house. So as a humanity, you give him more money than the value of the ring which is he's giving you. And he will do, of course, fake promise. The people are very crazy in these days. He'll say, oh, I will bring you back, I will bring you the remaining money back, please. And due to this, many time in their life they get financial losses also, because they keep helping people, because naturally they regret later. But as a human, like Jupiter make them a good person. Generally, I've seen this again and again. They can also excel in legal profession, meditation, astrology, spiritual coaching. Okay, if it's highly afflicted, then they could sometimes face issues related to contract, lawsuit, etc. Jupiter in the seventh house also show that your past life theme was that you may have abused your power in partnership or relationship. Okay, now you are here with Jupiter in the seventh house to balance those karma through fairness, devotion, and wisdom. Jupiter in the seventh house also show that repeated relationship pattern are clues to past life soul contract. Jupiter in the seventh house also show that your future spouse may bring a karmic soulmate returning to complete unfinished dharma. Jupiter in the seventh house also show that you are learning how to give without controlling and receive without entitlement. Jupiter in the seventh house also talk about that your soul is balancing dharma versus desire, especially in relationship part of your life. Jupiter in the seventh house also show that your marriage act as a spiritual awakening if Jupiter is activated through dasha or transit. Jupiter in the seventh house also show that your evolution depends on elevating love into devotion and ego into compassion. Then Jupiter in the 7th house, you know, also talk about that your wisdom can be tested in love, right? Respect your spouse and their family. Okay, that will definitely activate the positive side of this Jupiter. Jupiter, when placed in the 7th house, uh, then you should give yellow sweets or yellow, I would say this chana dal, right, which is chane ki dal that you can get on Indian stores easily on Thursday. Okay, maybe you just uh, give it if you know the procedure of praying to the Brihaspati Dev near the banana tree, so on Thursday you should do that, right? That's a good remedy of Jupiter. uh, then Jupiter in the 7th house on Thursday, if you are on Thursday, wearing yellow clothes is going to be a good idea, like wear yellow t-shirt, yellow shirt, etc. Okay, that can be a good idea. uh, Jupiter in the 7th house definitely helping people in their education, somehow helping someone through your wisdom by giving someone books is going to definitely improve your life, right? So let's say there is a poor kid, you can support him financially, you can give him books, etc. So that can be good for you. Jupiter in the 7th house also show that you subconsciously seek validation and guidance through your spouse or partner. Okay, Jupiter in the 7th house also show that your higher mind is activated in intimate dialogue or moral reflection with others. Jupiter in the 7th house, you may also feel incomplete without a meaningful partnership. Okay, Jupiter in the 7th house also show that you must avoid becoming too much preachy or judgmental or judgmental in love. Okay, Jupiter in the 7th house also try to tell you that you should learn to give space in relationship. Okay, that can also be seen, and don't try to dominate your partner. Okay, so yeah, generally these are the things that I have seen with Jupiter in the 7th house. Now, of course, as I mentioned earlier also, cleaning religious places is definitely going to improve your Jupiter, especially temple and Gurudwara, they represent Jupiter. Taking blessings whenever you travel to India, going to some mountain, you are meeting some saints which are good, or let's say in the Haridwar Rishikesh, you meet some saint which is wearing probably yellow or saffron clothes. You just touch their feet, give them some money, take their blessings. Definitely an excellent remedy for Jupiter. Okay. So yeah, and also respecting your teachers, gurus, father, those things also improve your Jupiter. So yeah, this is all about Jupiter in 7th house, right? If you want consultation or purchase courses, links are in comment section and description. Let's talk about Jupiter in the 8th house. So if Jupiter is placed into the 8th house of your chart, then what's going to happen? So first of all, what does Jupiter represent? Jupiter is the planet which represent your spirituality, your wealth, expansion, wisdom, dharma, knowledge. Jupiter is a putra karka, which means the karka significator of children. Jupiter is your divine grace, optimism, your luck, bhagya, generosity, higher learning, philosophy, right? And thousand other things are seen from the Jupiter. So when a planet like Jupiter is placed into the 8th house, okay, which represent transformation, secrets, and life and death, rebirth, occult sciences, hidden knowledge, right, and thousand other signification of 8th house. So when such planet come here, then what's going to happen? So when Jupiter is placed here in the 8th house, then purpose of life revolve around Jupiter in the 8th house. Purpose of life revolve around deep transformation. So when Jupiter is placed here in the 8th house, then the purpose of life revolves around deep transformation and spiritual evolution. Okay, so the people who are born with Jupiter in the 8th house are the people who understand the hidden truths of the life. Okay. Beyond the material thing, they have the ability to understand the hidden truth. Their soul must explore the mystical, taboo, secret, or psychological realm of existence. Right? Jupiter in the 8th house show life purpose uh, include, I would say, becoming a bridge between the material world and spiritual realm. Now, I am not saying that if Jupiter in the 8th house, they are only about spirituality and this and that. No. If let's say someone have Jupiter in the 8th house at the same time Venus in the 12th house, then there will be a lot of things going on the one hand, Venus is trying to the person is indulge in uh, love, romance, etc. On the other hand, this Jupiter is doing its own role. So yeah, both things will be there. That is why it is said that it's like a it's a bridge between the material and the spiritual realm. Jupiter when placed in the 8th house, so Jupiter expand the 8th house matters, meaning you attract sudden events in your life, deep change. Okay, even sometime these people can experience nearly death awakenings. Okay, Jupiter in the 8th house show that you are born to become a spiritual healer, a mystic teacher, or a transformer for others. Okay, definitely there will be intuition. You can be good into occult sciences, astrology, palmistry, and all these kind of a field, mystic sciences, right? You must trust your intuition or inner voice when you have Jupiter in the 8th house. Jupiter in the 8th house show your hidden knowledge become your tool of salvation. Tarot, astrology, tantra, finance, psychology, right? Dealing with other people's money. All these can be seen from here. In the 8th house also indicate a wise, intense, and possibly mysterious spouse you can get. Right? When Jupiter is in your 8th house, your spouse may come from a spiritually inclined family or maybe a bit religious person. Or maybe she has some kind of a religious background. Jupiter, when placed in the 8th house, your marriage will bring profound transformation in your life, either a huge blessings or a deep internal change. Right? Jupiter in the 8th house also show that your spouse may help you to understand your own hidden knowledge, wounds, and childhood pattern. Jupiter in the 8th house also show that there is a potential for some kind of a joint wealth, inheritance, or shared spiritual practice with your spouse. Right? But of course, we have to see the other things as well in the chart. Full horoscope consultation is required to see the big pictures. Links are in comment section and description if you want to purchase that. In some chart, this Jupiter can also show marriage with someone older or more mature, like a teacher, like your spouse can be even teacher. The sexual connection may be intensely spiritual or karmic. Okay, with this. In the 8th house also show that there will be healing of ancestral karma through your spouse. Okay. Also, Jupiter in the 8th house show that your marriage teach your soul how to balance trust, surrender, and share power. Jupiter when placed in the 8th house, it definitely bring fortune from hidden sources. So when you have Jupiter in the 8th house, you can earn from, let's say, inheritance, insurance sector, occult, etc., psychology, dealing with other people money, any kind of a research, investment, banking, finance, or any underground business. You do some work which is hidden. People will not understand what the hell this guy do. This is an excellent placement for researchers, occultists, healer, transformational leaders. Right? When you have Jupiter in the 8th house. Jupiter in the 8th house can gain, like it show that you can gain wealth from mystical knowledge or deep expertise in subjects. Right? Jupiter in the 8th house shows sudden ups and downs in career are part of your karmic story. Okay, so don't fear change. Jupiter in the 8th house show that success often come after crisis or hidden knowledge or hidden struggle, I would say, not knowledge, right? Jupiter in the 8th house also show that you can work in the field of even like the people who just like, you know, death care, psychology, sex therapist, astrology, banking, or even auditing. Yeah, that can also be seen. Jupiter in the 8th house, it's a strong placement actually. Like you will attract powerful back-end support from others, especially through trust when you have Jupiter in the 8th house. Jupiter in the 8th house, your in-laws, okay, may become a source of both a transformation in your life and sometime can be challenging as well. When you have Jupiter in the 8th house, your financial growth is tied to emotional and spiritual growth. Okay, that can also be seen. Jupiter in the 8th house also show that this placement pushes you to build silent empire, powerful without needing applause. Okay, that is the kind of a placement this is. Jupiter when placed in the 8th house, it also show that your past life may involve uh, maybe abuse of secret knowledge or betrayal in intimate relationship. Now with Jupiter in the 8th house in this life, your soul is asked to purify its power and use it for good. Jupiter when placed in the 8th house, I can also say that Jupiter here brings up grace in upcovering and healing past life traumas. Right here, Jupiter when placed in your 8th house, you are here to you are here learn to transform pain into wisdom. Okay, Jupiter when placed in the 8th house, many people with this Jupiter here can even become occultists, tantrics, even monks, priests. Jupiter when placed in the 8th house, it also suggests that in your past life you were either a priest or an occultist of some kind, maybe a tantric or a monk in your past life. Jupiter here also show that there is an ancestral karma related to money, trust, inheritance or sexuality. Jupiter in the 8th house also show that the purpose of your life is to heal generational wound through your inner depth and external service. Jupiter in the 8th house also show that you are often drawn to things like astrology, mysticism, healing, tantra, spiritual finance. Right? Jupiter in the 8th house also show that your karmic pattern may appear repeatedly, especially in love and finance. Jupiter in the 8th house, you can call it, if you have Jupiter in the 8th house, you are a king of wisdom. Okay? I can say that. Some remedies I would like to share if you have Jupiter in the 8th house. Offering yellow sweets, okay, any sweets of yellow color, which you can get in Indian stores or Indian shops, or even bananas, okay, because that is also related to Jupiter Ketu. So you can use bananas. You can give it to the poor people, right, on Thursday. So it's a great remedy if you have Jupiter in the 8th house. Simply help, like give banana, right, purchase some bananas and give it to the people to eat on Thursday, right? Maybe purchase 12 bananas and just distribute it to the people. That's really a great idea every Thursday. Also, when you have Jupiter in the 8th house, one more remedy is that avoid boasting about your knowledge and spiritual power, telling people, oh, I have this knowledge, that knowledge, I am great at this, right? Just avoid that. Okay. Jupiter in the 8th house, one more remedy, never disrespect your elders, guru, teacher. Okay. Always, Jupiter in the 8th house, always one more remedy, take the blessings of especially the priest, like the babas, the one who is wearing yellow or saffron clothes, the pandits, or the priest or the sage that you found, especially in temples, or in India, let's say you travel again to the north of India or somewhere, you find people who are doing mantra chantings, wearing saffron or yellow clothes, touching their feet, taking their blessing, maybe giving them something, right, to eat, or maybe some money, and take their blessings is really a great idea for you, right? That will help you a lot. Yeah, and even taking the blessings of the priest in the temple, again, it's a great idea here.
Then Jupiter in the 8th house, like donating things like books or any form of education, helping people for free. It's a great idea again. Never use black, like tantric practices or something like negative things to create problem for anyone. Okay, because that is the sign of negative Jupiter here. Otherwise things will backfire. Always remember that. Always do good karmas. Also praying to Lord Vishnu or Lord Brihaspati on Thursday, right, by keeping the fast, etc. It's really a great idea. When you have Jupiter in the 8th house, it give you a deep psychological insight. I have seen these people can even read people in, like they have that intuition. You have a strong healing ability. That's the positive side. Like these people literally, sometimes they have blessing that they just like see. You see, let's say someone is pressing someone's shoulder, giving massage or something. The person who have Jupiter in the 8th house in the family, you see, this boy or a girl, when like they just even do little bit of touch, it feel miraculous because they have that power. So they have some kind of a healing or energy healing or touch therapy or mantra healing. They can do these things, like because they have these kind of abilities, because Jupiter will give them here. Okay, so yeah, this is all about Jupiter in the 8th house. If you want to purchase consultation or courses, links are in comment section and description. Let's talk about Jupiter in the 9th house. So when you have Jupiter in the 9th house, first of all, what does Jupiter represent? Jupiter is the planet of wisdom, spirituality, expansion, dharma, wealth, knowledge, children, right? Putra karkaitis. It is divine grace, luck, optimism, higher learning, justice, and thousand other things. Generosity. It's all seen from the Jupiter. And what is 9th house? 9th house, the most important planet. It's your bhagya, it's your luck, it's your destiny, it's your father, gurus, long distance travel, higher education, and thousand other things you can see from the 9th house. 9th house can also be, you see, your wife's sibling. So if you have Jupiter in the 9th house, it is considered to be one of the best placement in Vedic astrology, because generally it make a person very lucky. The 9th house, right here, is the house of also guru, religion, luck, long distance journey, etc. A soul, like see, if you have Jupiter here, so you are born to seek higher knowledge, truth, and spiritual enlightenment. Okay, when you have Jupiter in the 9th house, you will see your life path revolve around teaching, guiding, mentoring others, becoming a light for other people. Naturally, these people have these abilities. They are good people. They always keep going for the learning new knowledge and sharing it with others. That's what they are great at. I have seen with Jupiter in the 9th house, such people are often travel to foreign land, right? They would like to find the truth and then teach it to the other people as well. Okay. Generally, if this Jupiter is not afflicted, you will find these people will have very high moral values. Okay. Jupiter in the 9th house, these people are deeply connected with gurus, scripture, ancient philosophies. Jupiter in the 9th house also show these people carry past life blessings. Okay. They have good karma related to teaching or protecting dharma. Then Jupiter in the 9th house, I would also say, when Jupiter is placed in the 9th house, your luck expand when you align with the spiritual goals, or let's say you serve any kind of higher purpose in your life, right? Jupiter in the 9th house also show that somehow the purpose of your life here is to inspire, to expand, to elevate other, right? That can be seen. Jupiter when placed in the 9th house, then sometimes your spouse can also come from a long distance place, okay, or little bit far away. And if let's say this Jupiter is afflicted, then you can even marry a foreigner, because If ninth house has Jupiter, it's rare that these people will go against their tradition. But until or unless the only way these people marry someone different or foreigner is when this Jupiter is afflicted, ninth lord is afflicted, planets like Rahu etc. or Saturn retrograde is influencing this. That's when, because when ninth lord get affliction or ninth house get affliction, that is when person likes to go against their religion etc. or they get married to someone different. Otherwise they don't have the courage to do so, or they do not wants to. Okay, Jupiter here in the ninth house bring you a partner who is very wise, religious, or may have philosophical depth. Okay, you may even met or maybe marriage during traveling, marriage partner you could met during foreign travel or during your higher studies. Although full horoscope consultation is required, of course, to see the big picture. For that, links are in comment section and description. If you want to purchase consultation, you can purchase this from there. But still, it also shows that spouse can play a key role in shaping your spiritual and moral beliefs. Okay, for you, the partner can act like a guru or a guide, especially if Venus is or seventh lord is connected with this Jupiter. All right. This can even indicate multiple long distance relationship before marriage. Okay, again, for this Jupiter need to be afflicted, otherwise, morally high person will don't do it. Also you will see, sometimes this Jupiter in the ninth house, people can, their image can also be like, oh my god, like you are a very overly preachy person, you teach a lot, you guide a lot, right? Also you will see with Jupiter in the ninth house, these people are often a shared love for learning. They have this, right? The love for learning, ritual, right? Spiritual practices, right? That can be seen. Their life lesson is to find a spiritual companion, not just emotional comfort when you have Jupiter in the ninth house. Jupiter in the ninth house makes you a person who is highly educated or deeply wise. Okay, that can also be seen. Jupiter in the ninth house, I would say it's an excellent placement if you, let's say, enter into the career like a preacher, a professor, a lawyer, a philosopher, a writer, a motivational speaker, a guru of some kind. Then it's really a great placement. Jupiter in the ninth house also show there will be a strong desire for foreign education or teaching from different cultures, right? Jupiter in the ninth house also show that you thrive in profession involving teaching, publishing, religion, or justice. Okay, I have also seen when you have Jupiter in the ninth house, you likes to go on pilgrimage, or you are drawn to holy places, spiritual places, right? Also, when Jupiter is in the ninth house, your luck supports you, right? That is really a great thing. If you work with honesty and with ethics, you keep this Jupiter good, then your luck will definitely going to support you, right? When you have Jupiter in the ninth house, you will see that. Okay, you attract opportunities from mentors, father figure, or foreigners. You can become world traveler or digital nomad with a spiritual purpose, right? Jupiter in the ninth house also show even during setbacks, their faith and optimism restore their path, right? That is the great thing. Also, you can expect these people definitely love foreign travel, foreign opportunities, and all that stuff. These people can even become like, the people who would like to travel the world, travel to different countries, these like travel vlogger type of people, they can even become that. Although I see for travel vlogger, I have seen one thing common, the moon is in the sign of Capricorn, because Saturn moon connection also I have seen in the people who are traveling a lot for their profession, right? The soul with Jupiter in the ninth house people, the soul of Jupiter in the ninth house people are here to learn and teach, right? That can be seen. See, when you have Jupiter in the ninth house, it is said that in the past life, you may have been a priest, a scholar, a teacher, or a monk, or someone who is like a guru, teaching, wise person, guiding others. Jupiter in the ninth house also show that you carry a deep karmic depths or blessing from spiritual institution or teachers. Jupiter in the ninth house, when you have, there is a natural detachment from materialism. Generally, I have seen this. Okay, if let's say, especially Jupiter is pure in the ninth house and it's unaffected, these people will have some kind of a detachment. Jupiter in the ninth house, you may overcome intellectual arrogance or spiritual superior complex, right? That can be seen. Jupiter in the ninth house also show that your soul is evolving through faith, trust in divine order and expansion of consciousness. Jupiter here in the ninth house pushes you to become torch bearers of truth. Okay, no matter what the cost is, still they do it. Jupiter in the ninth house also, like I've seen, these people may question religion in early years. Then they come back in the later year with true understanding, because the people who ask question are going to get the answers, right? This, like sometime I've seen these, like this placement of Jupiter in the ninth house can show a spiritual missionary like a path, okay, spreading light and wisdom globally. But it is not like a stupid path where you are just forcing your religion on others. No, it is like spreading the true, like true light. Like for an example, uh, uh, Gautam Buddha did, Lord Buddha, right? So yeah, uh, then you will see with Jupiter in the ninth house, uh, like if they live in a very rigid belief system, they may feel very suffocated. They need freedom. Okay, Jupiter in the ninth house, you can say this is a person who is like a king or a blind follower. Okay, you can say that. Jupiter in the ninth house, what remedies you can do? First, always respect your father or your guru or elderly male, or I would rather say all of them. Okay, always respect them. Take the blessing of these people. Take the blessings of Brahman Pandit in the Panditji into the temple. Take blessings from some sages, right? Not like the Babas that you specially met in India while traveling in, right, near the temple, etc. You should take their blessings. It's an amazing thing that will improve your luck a lot, right? Never try to manipulate or lie to your teachers. It blocks the Jupiter blessings. Okay. On Thursday, like praying to Lord Vishnu or Lord Brihaspati is really a great idea, right? On Thursday, near, in Hinduism, on Thursday you go to the Lord Brihaspati temple or Lord Vishnu temple. There is like the banana tree near that. You just offer some yellow sweets, etc. So you can do that kind of a prayer, right? Never do charity to boost your ego when you have Jupiter in the ninth house, because if you are doing charity and feeling like, oh, how great I am, and you are boosting your ego, that's a horrible thing. If you really have a good Jupiter in the ninth house, how you see that is you are doing charity and you are just, you are not expecting anything in return. You just didn't even remember that you give money, you did charity, or you given food to someone. That is the good Jupiter here. Okay. Jupiter here in the ninth house can make you a natural philosopher or a guide or a mentor or a motivator. Even if you are not formally trained, still this Jupiter will give you ability to become like that. Jupiter in the ninth house, you possess deep intuition and inner sight. Right? These people can even have ability to open their third eye chakra slowly. Right? Because if they leave everything and they do that. Jupiter in the ninth house can also show that you can guide people during their crises, their faith, their married life problem, their career problem. You are the one who can guide them, who can motivate them. Although for motivational speaker, we have to see other things like Mercury, Mars, etc. But yeah, still this Jupiter in the ninth house, because Jupiter is wisdom, it's a divine grace, it's a divine touch. When you say something like that to the people, try to make them understand, and you have a good Jupiter in the ninth house, they will feel good, they will feel happy, they will feel blessed, right? So that is the special ability you have. So yeah, this is all about Jupiter in the ninth house. If you want to purchase consultation or courses, links are in comment section and description. And so if Jupiter is placed in the 10th house, generally it is considered to be as a very good planet. Okay, indicating divine purpose through career and karma. Right? So when Jupiter is in the 10th house, this is, first of all, the 10th house represent, it is the house of the government, it is the house of your career, it is the house of your status. Okay, it is the most important house in our chart, one of the most important. And then what is the planet Jupiter? Jupiter represent our morality, Jupiter is our ethics, Jupiter is the planet of bhagya, Jupiter is the putra karaka planet, Jupiter is luck, right? Jupiter is divine grace, the most important planet in our chart. So when such planet is placed in the 10th house, which is the house of action, career, karma, profession, reputation, so that your purpose of life is to bring dharma into the material world. Jupiter in the 10th house bless you with nobility, fairness and high moral standards. Okay, Jupiter in the 10th house show that your soul is driven to influence society positively through wisdom based work. Jupiter in the 10th house also show that you are naturally attracted to government roles, law, teaching or guiding others. Okay, Jupiter in the 10th house show this is the house of karma, first of all, right? 10th house is the house of karma, and Jupiter definitely indicate that past life positive karmas are there. Okay, but then Jupiter, I have also seen when placed in the 10th house. So one research, or I would say one group of people I have seen said this is correct, when these people with Jupiter in the 10th house get too much involved in doing, let's say, the good karmas, like of course we all have to do good karmas, we all have to be spiritual, but many time people will try to make them fools. Okay, with Jupiter in the 10th house, I have seen this, if it's not afflicted, then these people become so good that people will come to them, sir please help me, and they will cry in front of this person, please give me money, I will return your money after 30 days or something, and then they will run away with their money. So many time in their life, due to their good nature, due to their habit of helping people, doing good karma, they face bad consequences. So whenever you have Jupiter in the 10th house, you should become a bit clever person. You should be careful of doing too much good stuff, because people can how can I explain it, people can try to manipulate you, people can use you, people can use your positive nature. Okay, so here, because Jupiter is naturally in the house of Saturn, because Saturn has the Capricorn sign naturally in the zodiac, regardless of which sign Jupiter is placed in your 10th house, still, right, you have to be a bit careful when you are trying to help someone. So be careful, you can get cheated, because people try to use your good nature for their own benefit here. Okay, so this is like a precaution from my side, because I've seen this. Then Jupiter here also show that your life path revolve around serving society and earning fame with dignity. If you have Jupiter in the 10th house, it also show that you rise with ethical actions and truth based leadership. Okay, Jupiter in the 10th house also show that you may, like, your spouse may meet you through some kind of a maybe work, maybe public event or professional network, that can also possible,
right? Although full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture regarding this, so you can purchase consultation. Links are in comment section and description as well. You are attracted to wise, ambitious, and socially respected partners. Jupiter here also show that your social status impacts marriage qualities. Okay, so like your marriage quality is impacted by social status. Sorry. Also, Jupiter in the 10th house show your spouse might come from a well-known or influential family. Okay, of course, we have to see other things as well, but generally I've seen this. Then Jupiter in the 10th house also show that you can marry someone in a similar or respected profession. Like for an example, you can marry someone who can be a teacher or law, okay, spirituality, or maybe someone who could be in same profession. Jupiter in the 10th house also indicate uh like it try to stabilize marriage life, okay, especially if 7th house is positive. So yeah, because Jupiter from here aspect the 4th house, which is like the peace of marriage and all that. So that can be seen. Now Jupiter when placed in the 10th house, sometimes marriage delay if happen, it can happen because of your focus on career. So let's say this person is focusing too much on career, that's why they delay the marriage. That can possible if the delay happen many time. Now if Jupiter is in the 10th house, also after marriage, your professional future often improve drastically. Okay, Jupiter in the 10th house also indicate that the marriage may be a partnership in social or spiritual mission. Okay, Jupiter in the 10th house also show that you know definitely you will get honor, awards, or some kind of a reputation in your profession. Jupiter in the 10th house also show that you can be into the profession, like you can become a judge, a teacher, a professor, politician, IAS, IPS, right? Like a good officer in the government, some kind of a preacher, or some kind of non-governmental organization leader. You are a person who often hold position of authority with wisdom, not dictatorship. Okay, that can also be seen. With Jupiter in the 10th house, you are naturally attract mentor or bosses who help to elevate you. Okay, that can also be seen. Jupiter in the 10th house also show that you rise by uplifting others. Okay, by helping other, by uplifting others. You will not rise by doing competition or by doing manipulation towards other. You will rise by uplifting others. Okay, so that can also be seen. Like for an example, you see many people who are a teacher, who teach people, and their student become high ranking officers, IAS officer, IFS officers, big officers, and even some minister, etc. And then they are touching the feet in India of this teacher, which is a small teacher. And now because of this particular officers, this teacher is getting more fame. So this is the kind of a placement this could have. Okay, by uplifting other, your reputation rises. A strong Jupiter give immense luck in politics and religious institution also. Okay, although for politics this Jupiter have to be afflicted, and there must be Saturn, Rahu, or Venus, like this thing must be there, because in politics you need diplomacy, and in politics you also need cleverness, cunningness, which come from the Saturn, Rahu, rather than Jupiter. Okay, so yeah, the public image of this person generally with Jupiter in the 10th house is that he's an honest person or she is honest person, wise person. Okay, that can be seen. Also you will see, I've also seen when Jupiter is in the 10th house, these people face a big career turning point after they generally at the age of like 36. After that they face some kind of a turning point in their life. Also when they like the real success come in their life when they align their career with dharma. Also with Jupiter in the 10th house, it shows that in their past life In your past life, you might have been some kind of a some kind of a person into wise counseling, administration. Okay, it show that you are reborn to complete an unfinished mission tied to social justice or guidance. Okay, Jupiter here in the 10th house show that uh it give you a guru like responsibility in this lifetime. Jupiter in the 10th house also show that you must learn not to misuse your authority. Okay, otherwise if you misuse your authority, it will give you a karmic fall in life. Then Jupiter in the 10th house indicate that it could give you a desire to influence the masses, whether into things like spirituality, morality, or becoming any kind of a guru, a preacher, a teacher can be seen. Jupiter in the 10th house also show that you must practice the right action without attachment to the results. Okay, so that can be seen. Jupiter in the 10th house also show that with this placement, some of you can face a moral crisis at some point that redefine your life purpose. When you have Jupiter in the 10th house, so when you accept a dharmic career path, luck automatically become active in your life. Jupiter in the 10th house again make you someone like author, speaker, mentor, especially at later in your life. Even if you are not in the early life, later you can become like this. Like you see, there are certain people who was like working in some job, but then later in their life maybe they left job, or they do after retirement, they take retirement, and then they become some kind of a guru. So that can also be seen, especially when the Shantar Dasha especially hit, then things changes. uh, and with Jupiter in the 10th house, your life lesson is to lead with humanity and wisdom, not with ego or pride. Jupiter in the 10th house, uh, you know, is a placement which show that you should serve your father and teaching figures, gurus, because it boosts your profession success. Generally, Jupiter in the 10th house, you should avoid eating non-veg, especially on Thursday. You should never. If you can avoid lifetime, that's excellent. Okay, because Jupiter don't like these things. Also, respecting elders and guru is really important here. This brings blessings in your life. Also, worshipping Lord Brihaspati or Lord Vishnu, especially on Thursday, can give you excellent result with Jupiter in the 10th house. Jupiter in the 10th house naturally make you a mentor like personality. Even from the young age, you will see that you will have that guiding nature. Okay, Jupiter in the 10th house show that your friends, sibling, even strangers can seek career like advice or guidance from you. These are the people who like see you. Some point people will come to you and ask you, hey, can what do you think about this? Should I go for this? Should I go for that? So that can be seen. uh you know, Jupiter in the 10th house also show that you must balance public success with personality, humility, and inner faith. Okay, so yeah, these are the things generally I have seen with Jupiter in the 10th house. If you want to purchase consultation or courses, links are in comment section and description. Okay, now let's talk about uh, Jupiter in 11th house. So if Jupiter is placed, if Jupiter if Jupiter is placed in your 11th house, then first of all, what does 11th house represent? 11th house is your house of desires, right? 11th house represent your friends, network circle, elder sibling, right? 11th house also represent income. 11th house is also the house of networking that you have. And what is Jupiter? Jupiter is the planet which represent wisdom, which represent growth, which is your dharma, which is morality. Okay. Jupiter is also Putra Karka. Jupiter is also the Karka of your Bhagya, luck, fortune naturally is seen from the Jupiter. Right? And thousand other things are seen from the Jupiter. So what's going to happen when such an important planet, Jupiter, is going to sit in your 11th house? First of all, when Jupiter sit in the 11th house, definitely you will see that there will be it's the planet of expansion. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, and it is sitting into the 11th house of gains and desire. So definitely it create abundant life goals, right? It definitely show that your purpose of life somehow is to help others to grow, to benefit through one's own network, influence and wisdom, right? When you have Jupiter in the 11th house, you are born to manifest large scale vision and bring people together under a cause. You are karmically driven to uplift your social circle and lead communities, or I would say manage large organization when you have Jupiter in the 11th house. Jupiter in the 11th house show that the past life blessings of you bring good fortune through society, friends and elder siblings. This placement of Jupiter in the 11th house show that you know you like dharma through collective benefit, right, can be seen with the Jupiter in the 11th house. So building teams, groups, right, that can be seen. Jupiter in the 11th house also show that if you have Jupiter in the 11th house, you are often respected by very important persons, VIPs, spiritual leaders and wise elders. Okay, you are supposed to become bridge between the higher wisdom and the masses when you have Jupiter in the 11th house. Jupiter in the 11th house also show that your dreams are usually very big, right, and you are capable to manifest your dreams, right? So Jupiter in the 11th house can give you a very big dream. So I would like to have this thing, that thing, but then it also give you ability to manifest them, right? Jupiter in the 11th house when placed, so it is said that universe support you, like when you act with sharing group benefit in the mind. So like for an example, you have Jupiter in the 11th house and your brain is in such a way that I should help people, I should do this thing so that so lot of people get served. So definitely universe will help you. So in a way it's also a remedy. When you have Jupiter in the 11th house, you should have this mindset of helping others. So then it's really a great idea. Then Jupiter when placed in the 11th house, so it show that your spouse may be met through social gatherings, okay, friends or maybe elder sibling connection somehow. You could meet your spouse through such way. Then Jupiter in the 11th house also show that your partner is likely to be very optimistic, supportive, spiritual and can be from a respected family. Jupiter in the 11th house also show that there is a tendency to marry someone with big dreams or maybe humanitarian vision, or someone who could have a guiding role in your life. Jupiter in the 11th house can also indicate that your spouse may play a role in amplifying your social image and aspirations. Jupiter in the 11th house also indicate that often the marriage, like your marriage support the professional or spiritual goals, right? Jupiter here in the 11th house create a desire for marriage of mutual growth, support and expansion. Okay. Jupiter in the 11th house, however, show that delayed marriage may occur due to being over idealistic or focus too much on goal. Maybe you just say that, oh, first I will like to focus on my career and then I will get married, or maybe you are too idealized about the partner due to which delay happen. Although for that other things also need to be seen. So full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Links are in comment section and description if you want to purchase. But then Jupiter in the 11th house also show that your married life will become more stable when both you and your partner share group goals or community values. Okay, it is said that when Jupiter is placed in the 11th house, it is one of the best position for material wealth, success, income through networks. Jupiter in the 11th house give more success through large organization, spiritual groups, NGO, right? Education or politics. Jupiter in the 11th house also show that you attract mentors, guides, right? And high position friends who help you to grow. Jupiter in the 11th house also show that you often benefit from the foreign contacts or elderly people or someone like a guru, saint, or group association. Jupiter in the 11th house also show that you could, like Jupiter here can give you money through careers like counseling. Someone you give counseling to the people, or maybe sometime politics, community leadership, astrology, finance, education, religion. Although if Jupiter is in the 11th house, maybe a person can be a police officer, but you will see he's a different kind of a police officer. He's a good police officer, maybe, who likes to guide people within the, like, see, even though he's a police officer because Mars make him police officer due to other placement, but he have Jupiter in the 11th house, so people came for guidance to this guy. Even in the office, he's sitting in the office and giving guidance to the people. That can be seen. So that is the effect. Jupiter in the 11th house also show that you can also gain through spouse network or foreign afflictions. Okay. Jupiter in the 11th house also show that you should aim to build wealth with ethics and community vision. Jupiter in the 11th house also show that your long-term wealth come from wisdom and goodwill. If Jupiter is afflicted here, then there may be loss of gains due to over trusting friends or bad advisor, right? So if let's say this Jupiter is afflicted here, okay, so maybe your friends will cheat you, or maybe friends will create issues, or you will get some bad advisors. Okay. Jupiter in the 11th house show that the career become more successful when you give back to society in some form. Okay. So definitely you should do some kind of a like help and charity, etc. That can also be seen. Then Jupiter when placed into the 11th house, you carry past life blessings of community service, teaching, or group leadership. Jupiter in the 11th house also show that you must use your knowledge to bring collective upliftment. Okay, and you should not be too much greedy here. If Jupiter is strong in the 11th house, it all can also show that you are a person who is like reincarnated, like you are a reincarnated teacher or a noble soul. Jupiter in the 11th house show that your soul often remember how to influence large masses with positive energy. Now, of course, if other planets are also placed here, then the things change. Like Jupiter Rahu here can make you too much obsessive about money, etc. Right? Jupiter Mercury will do different stuff. So for that, full horoscope consultation is required. To see the big picture, links are in comment section. You can purchase from there. But Jupiter in the 11th house also show that your purpose is not just to gain, but to help others. Okay. Jupiter here in the 11th house also show that you are karmically rewarded for sharing wealth, time, and teachings. Okay. Jupiter when placed into the 11th house, so it also show that when you embrace service, contribution, and some kind of a, I would say, group growth, it is really a good for you. Jupiter alone in the 11th house can also show that friends in your life are often spiritual allies from the past lifetimes. Jupiter when placed into the 11th house, you are meant to act as a social guide for others. Jupiter when placed in the 11th house, I would advise you to avoid ego, to avoid show off, to avoid superficial popularity. Okay, it is also advised. Then um when, like, see, Jupiter in the 11th house has a one great remedy. When you have Jupiter in the 11th house, right, you should try to donate, keep doing dan, keep doing donations, helping people. Okay, anyway, do donations, makes purchase food, give it to the people. You go to the temple or gurudwara, you do some donations, help there, seva there, right? Charity is really important with Jupiter in the 11th house. The more you keep doing that, the better it is. In fact, if every month you just put certain amount of money away, let's say 10% or something, whatever you can as per your ability, from your salary, from your earnings, so it's really a great idea. Okay, because this Jupiter will give you more positive result. And avoid any kind of a greediness, or even I would say avoid greedy friends, greedy or manipulative people. If you have any friend like that, avoid them, try to talk to them less. uh, also offering something like a yellow sweets to some brahman, to some pandit ji into the temple, and taking their blessings by touching their feet is going to be great. Like for an example, you can purchase these things in India, that is besan ke laddu, which is yellow color laddus of besan. Okay, you can go to any Indian sweet store and ask them besan ke laddu, and literally you can purchase 1 kg of besan ke laddu and give it good quality besan ke laddu and give it to some priest in the temple, touch their feet, take their blessing on Thursday, and boom, you do it once in a month, maybe, or maybe once in couple of months. Maybe offer them some yellow clothes, right? It can give you blessings of Jupiter, right? So yeah. uh Also, never try to cheat someone with Jupiter in the 11th house, otherwise negative effect get activated. Generally, Jupiter in the 11th house make you very charming, well network, deeply respected by other. Okay, it can give you a very visionary mind. Naturally, it give you a leadership abilities to lead others. Okay, but I would advise that when you have Jupiter in the 11th house, you must learn to balance between your personal happiness and social responsibility. So, yeah, this is all about Jupiter in the 11th house. If you want to purchase courses or purchase consultation, links are in comment section and description. Now, let's talk about Jupiter in the 12th house. So, when you have Jupiter in the 12th house, what does 12th house represent? 12th house represent houses of losses, dan, charity, hmm, foreign lands, asylum, hospital, jail. All the problems also come from the 12th house, like such kind of a stuff. And then what is Jupiter? Jupiter is the luck, right? Your bhagya, your wisdom, your morality. Jupiter is Putra Karka. Jupiter is the most important planet, right? So when such planet is placed into the 12th house, which is such a difficult house, so what's going to happen? What is going to be the life direction and your spiritual purpose and your karmic blueprint? So see, when Jupiter like planet is sit into the 12th house, it indicate a deep spiritual mission of you. Okay, when you have Jupiter in the 12th house, your purpose of life is somehow connected to moksha, liberation, universal compassion, and service. I have seen this. Even if the Venus is very strong, when a person have Jupiter in the 12th house and the dasha antardasha of Jupiter hit, this boy or a girl or this man or a woman, certain like this human being, certain point in their life, they always like they talk about, oh, we should attain moksha, we should attain enlightenment, we should be into the feet of Lord Vishnu, because this Jupiter give them this kind of effect, especially in the dasha antardasha. They have this mindset. I have seen this. These people can be old soul kind of a person. Okay, they born with some kind of a spiritual past life merit, right? Jupiter in the 12th house give you a natural detachment from materialism and a search for meaning beyond success. Especially I have seen as they grow older and the Jupiter Dasha, let's say Dashantar Dasha hit, they get this feeling of detachment and you know, Jupiter in the 12th house is a strong indicator that you can be a healer, a monk, or a teacher, or a mystic in the past life. Jupiter in the 12th house also show that you are karmically guided to serve the world from behind the scenes. Jupiter in the 12th house show that your dream, intuition and divine vision, right, guide your path. Jupiter in the 12th house also show that your life mission may revolve around foreign lands, ashram, hospitals or isolated environments. Jupiter in the 12th house show that you could have a natural love for charity, compassion and universal well-being. Jupiter in the 12th house also show that your dharma is to find God within the silence, sacrifice and solitude. Okay, so yeah, this is also you see. Jupiter in the 12th house can also show that maybe your spouse can be a bit spiritually inclined, or maybe a foreign born person, or maybe you met your spouse in a foreign country. Although for the foreign element we have to see other things as well. For that full horoscope consultation is required. Links are given in the comment section and description if you want to purchase that. But yeah, that can also possible. If either they or themselves can be spiritually inclined at certain point in their life, or their spouse. Also Jupiter in the 12th house also show marriage may feel very karmic, mysterious and spiritually bonded rather than practical. Jupiter in the 12th house also show that you may face delay or secrecy around marriage matters. Jupiter in the 12th house also show there is a strong tendency to marry someone, okay, who can be involved in healing, spirituality or art. Although, like for an example, the person you marry can be into different profession, but they can be connected into these things as well secretly. Spiritual, like marriage with Jupiter in the 12th house show that partner may bring spiritual lessons or awaken your inner world. If Jupiter is well placed in the 12th house, so your spouse can be very giving nature and very wise. If it's afflicted in the 12th house, the Jupiter is afflicted, placed in the 12th house, then like placed in the 12th and afflicted, then marriage may lead to emotional or spiritual withdrawal. Okay, Jupiter in the 12th house also show that your marriage can teach you detachment, soul lessons, unconditional love. I have seen these people love as well, like they have love, but at the same time, because Jupiter is in the 12th, and remember Venus here create love related feeling more. It's like although Venus here gives certain trouble as well, but for love etc it can be good. But then Jupiter here can give them certain kind of a detachment at certain point. I have seen this again and again. Sometimes they can be drawn towards philosophy, non-traditional form of relationship. Okay. Sometimes Jupiter in the 12th house show that your spouse can open door for you to the foreign travels, or they are living away from the family, meditation, inner discovery that can be seen. Jupiter in the 12th house, okay, also show that maybe you, like sometime I have seen that they doesn't focus on traditional career, right? That can also be seen. So they could also go towards things like a little bit different, like foreign diplomat. I mean, like these are also normal career, but they can try to do, like for an example, spiritual healer, yoga teacher, psychologist, foreign diplomat, like monk, researcher. They prefer to do such kind of a thing. Jupiter in the 12th house also show earning often come from foreign sources, donation, hidden investments, or maybe ashram style work. Jupiter in the 12th house also show that you must be cautious. Don't chase money. Okay. And if you don't just chase the money, you surrender, it will flow to you. Jupiter here give you unexpected success at after the age of 30 or 32. You will see more success. Okay, and even through selfless acts that you do, that will give you benefit. 12th house Jupiter uh, can also bring sometime losses, because you know, whenever Jupiter transit in our 12th house, we will see that lot of money start to get go out of our bank account, because the expenses increases in that when the Jupiter transit in our 12th house. So if you have Jupiter naturally placed in the 12th house, definitely show a lot of expenses in the life. Okay, for sure. And whenever Jupiter transit here in the 12th, it show that. But then Jupiter is a benefic planet, so more or less these expenses can be on positive stuff as well. Like for an example, you are traveling abroad, so you are booking hotels and flights, so you have expenses. You are doing expenses on charity, you are doing expenses on such things, so yeah, that can be seen. Jupiter, if let's say placed in the 12th house and it is afflicted, so you may suffer due to over idealism, escapism. Also, you can suffer from fake gurus. So you have to be careful from such things. Then, Jupiter, when placed in the 12th house, you can even travel for work to foreign land. Okay, spiritual retreat, solitude based jobs can benefit you. Even traveling to some remote island somewhere in Bali or Thailand or wherever, maybe in some other country of South America, etc. And there you are doing freelancing at some lonely, isolated island with few digital nomads, that can be seen. Then I have also seen with Jupiter in the 12th house, it make you a person uh, who would definitely be some kind of a spiritual master, priest or monk in your past life. Your soul carry a deep memory of divine connection and meditation. Jupiter in the 12th house also show that your life may feel like an inner journey. Okay. A need to complete unfinished soul contracts. Jupiter in the 12th house can also show that you can encounter feelings of deja vu, vivid dreams, spiritual downloads you could have. Like suddenly you are just talking to your father with someone, and then you are feeling, oh, I have done this before. Same thing. So, yeah, that can be seen. Jupiter in the 12th house also show that your karmic lesson here is to let go your ego, control and illusion. Jupiter, when placed in the 12th house, so your solitude is not a punishment for you, it's a soul recharge station for you. Okay. I've also seen Jupiter when placed in the 12th house, these people may suffer silence battle. Okay. Jupiter here teach you strength through surrender. Also, Jupiter in the 12th house can also show that you can travel to foreign places to see temples, oceans, spiritual destination can play a key role in your life. Jupiter, when placed into the 12th house, okay, so I have seen that like doing any kind of a worship or sadhana into the solitude, these people can get good results if they would like to pursue this place, or I would say this path. So yeah, um, Jupiter in the 12th house, if you are facing lot of problems in your life, right, any kind of a problem, then I would say donating the yellow clothes, or I would say yellow chane ki dal. You can search on Google yellow chane ki dal of yellow color. You can donate to the blind people, or maybe the saint, like especially the Hindu saints, because they represent Jupiter. So if you, let's say, travel to India, you find some Hindu saints, you purchase some clothes for them of yellow color, okay, which they would like to wear, like kurta, etc., and you give them something maybe to eat or some right, and take their blessings. So it's really a great remedy for this Jupiter. Also, when you have Jupiter in the 12th house, you must avoid fake spiritualism. Okay, and also you should be careful from fake gurus, fraud gurus. Okay, you should be careful of chanting wrong mantras. If you chant wrong mantras, it will give you negative result. Okay, visiting temples on Thursday is a good idea. Okay, I have also seen that Jupiter, when placed in the 12th house, such people can appear to be a bit introverted, but they have divine aura, they have deep eyes, right? They have saintly nature in a way. Their charm is not worldly, okay, but it's magnetic. Jupiter in the 12th house show you are born to heal through presence, not loudness. This is all about Jupiter in the 12th house. If you want to purchase personal consultation or courses, links are in comment section and description. And now let's talk about